The latest Gotham Knights update is the PC requirements as well as the recommended PC specs for Gotham Knights, and it's starting to, I think, well push back against the notion that these consoles are somehow too weak to hit 60 FPS. There is a growing narrative that 60 FPS is just too high or something we can't really expect. We're going to be looking at tweets from other companies and their games. We're also going to be looking at comparing the PC requirements of Gotham Knights to Spider-Man and seeing just how poorly optimized Gotham Knights seems to be on the heels of our Plague Tale Requiem coverage. This is starting to feel like it's not a console problem. This is a game problem. As always, if you enjoy this content, hit subscribe and the bell button. I put all the information right here at the beginning of the video, and we do this in the form of an update, and I've messed my scene up. That is not what's supposed to be happening. Right there with the opening of the show. I don't know where my video went. I had a video of what is Gotham Knights. There it is. We're a professional outfit here, and we try to put this update right here at the beginning so you don't have to worry about going and finding all of the information, and we do this in the form of an update. This is a Reforge update. The Gotham Knights PC requirements point to a poorly optimized game in the wake of another game, Plague Tale Requiem, having similar issues with performance. We're going to be breaking down everything in this very quick update. I want to recap exactly what has happened with this game. I want to address the reframing of the 30 frames per second discussion and look at how the PC specs of the game tell a different story. And finally, I want to look at the 60 frames per second, what I think is a lie that these consoles can't hit 60 frames per second. When you look at the market, it's not true. It's all in this video. Make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button. So first, let's recap. So apparently, 60 FPS isn't as easy as lowering resolution, or at least that's what we're supposed to believe from the devs. The devs have pointed to the fact that it's not as easy as lowering resolution when this information came out, that there was not going to be a 60 FPS mode. And then we see the recommended system for PC is 1080-60, which makes it seem kind of strange. Why wouldn't you have that mode playable on console? Which obviously many people are going to say, well, the consoles are too weak. I'll get to that in a moment. Many people were upset by this because, hey, why didn't you tell us there wasn't a 60 FPS mode? Well, have no fear. In come the fandom people and the fanboys to defend the game against this dishonest practice and the fact that questions about a 60 FPS mode were deleted from a Discord. They're here to tell us that, oh no, there was information about this out into the public. They're basically continuing to perpetrate lies, essentially, by making it seem as though, oh, we all knew this a while ago. It's simply not true. PS Access mentioned that they were playing a 30 FPS 4K ray tracing mode, which is a standard in the industry. Nobody batted an eye when they heard a video, somebody saying, yeah, we played Gotham Knights and we played a 4K 30 FPS. We played it at that. That's normal. That's in the market right now. You can play virtually every next-gen game on PS5 at a 4K 30. So no one was surprised to hear that. The video did not say anything about the lack of a 60 FPS performance mode because that is also a standard. Many people probably heard that and just assumed, oh, hey, every game I have on my PS5, I choose between the two, 4K 30 or performance mode where I'm going to get 60. So the reframing of this is just wholly dishonest, running back to one video with an offhanded remark about 4K ray tracing and 30 frames per second didn't come from WB, it came from somebody else, and it was merely pointing to what sounded like one way of playing the game. Not only that, but now this is driving some sort of a narrative that, oh, 60 FPS really isn't possible. People are starting to spread more lies, claiming that, like, Callisto Protocol and Hogwarts won't have 60 FPS. Callisto Protocol tweeted just yesterday, we would love to inform you all that we will be shipping globally on December the 2nd, and yes, we will have a 60 FPS performance mode. So they're setting the record straight because people are trying so hard to defend this that they're just making things up. So let's look at the actual PC specs because this is, I think, part of the equation. Many people are actually looking at the PC specs and strangely concluding that, yeah, see, these consoles just aren't strong enough. Their recommended PC for 60 FPS 1080 at high settings is an Intel Core i7 10700K or a Ryzen 5 5700, 16 gig of RAM, a GeForce RTX 27 or a Radeon RX 5700. So what that is that's not a crazy strong system, but it's reasonably strong. That's a pretty strong system, and you're going to have to do that to get 60 FPS 1080. So they're asking you to have a pretty strong system in the market right now to get 1080 60. That's 1080 60 is basically what many games are getting on the Series S, and the Series S is considered the weaker of the consoles right now. That's not a slam, it simply is. Right now, if you go play Plague Tale Requiem, it's playing at 1080 and barely maintaining 30, but that's a whole other discussion. So 1080 60, okay, and you need a pretty strong system to get there. If you compare this to the Spider-Man PC port, you need a slightly stronger rig to do 4K 60 with very high settings. So I did comparisons between the graphics cards of what like Spider-Man was recommending and what like Gotham Knights was recommending. It's like, wait. I need a system that's like slightly stronger and I can run 4K 60 with high settings, but Gotham's over here with what would be considered a pretty strong system running 1080 60, and people are concluding, oh yeah, it's the consoles that aren't strong enough. No, that is absolutely not something that can be demonstrated in the market right now. Plenty of games have been hitting 60. What this seems to be indicative of, alongside of Plague Tale Requiem, is these games are poorly optimized, okay? It doesn't matter how strong your system is. If a game is poorly optimized, it's not going to run all that well no matter how strong it is. Here is a list of evidence in the market that 60 FPS is not unreasonable and not something that's unobtainable by consoles. Anybody telling you that is not doing due diligence, they're not doing research, they're driving a narrative. You have Forza on the Xbox Series X. Halo Infinite hit 60 as well. It's not necessarily the most like snazzy next-gen title, but you got Forza, which looks incredible and hits 60, 4K. And then on the PlayStation 5, you have Horizon Forbidden West, Demon's Souls Remake, Returnal, Ratchet & Clank, The Last of Us Remake. God of War Ragnarok has already been stated to have this mode. Callisto Protocol just tweeted. Early press briefings from people close to the project have said that Hogwarts Legacy will also be hitting 60 FPS. Then there's all the 60 FPS updates. God of War 2018, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, Plague Tale Innocence got a next-gen update on all of the consoles and hit 60 rock solid. There's a Digital Foundry video on it. And then there's literally an FPS boost on the Xbox Series X to give you that increased FPS performance in virtually every game with, backwards compatibility. So the idea that 60 FPS is somehow hard to do is not demonstrated in the market. It's been demonstrated by two games that are so poorly optimized they can't. Plague Tale Requiem can't even maintain 30, and Gotham needs you to have a pretty strong PC to get 1080 60. You've got to look at the game at this point and say something's baked into this that shouldn't be there. And even when you turn off some of the high fidelity things, you're still not getting the greatest performance. If you look at the Spider-Man chart of required PC specs to get like 4K 60, 4K ray tracing, like all this stuff, it makes sense. It's like, well, you're turning on 4K, you're turning on ray tracing, you're turning on high settings. They're promoting a game at 1080 60 and requiring you to have a pretty strong PC. So stop turning and looking at the consoles. It's time to look at the game and ask a fundamental question. What is wrong with this game? Why is it going to run so poorly virtually everywhere that it lands? Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can always check me out live streaming over on Reforge Gaming. As always, hit subscribe and the bell button on this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you guys right now. That's a longer open, but there's so much bad framing. There's so much just bad faith statements being made about this game. This, to me, this isn't even about bashing Gotham Knights. This is about defending the consoles, right? The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are great consoles. And the idea that this game is somehow indicative that the market, oh yeah, we can't really expect 60, I think that that's bogus. I've got a feeling it's being rushed. Did you see the Callisto tweet? Yeah, Callisto literally walked out and said, we're going to have a 60 FPS performance mode. Like, stop believing this lie that there's some kind of a problem with the consoles or 60 FPS is an unreasonable expectation. No, that simply isn't true. It's not even about bashing Gotham Knights. Like, I've accepted the fact that this game, for whatever reason, either got rushed or they baked something into it that's causing problems, okay? That's not me bashing it. It's like, I cannot expect a game like this to come out and be mired in all of this controversy and all of this weirdness and be like, oh no, it's going to be a 10 out of 10 game. Like, it's time to just admit there's something off here and we're going to see it in a couple of days, right? Azah with a $2 tip. I'm glad there's PC players defending consoles. Right, like, I have a 2080 Ti. I've got what would be considered a pretty reasonable rig in the market right now. It's older, but it's still very strong. If you look at the general consensus, like the global PC community and what most people have, my rig is actually pretty good. And I'm barely going to get above 1080-60 in this game. Like, what on earth? I don't play games at 1080-60. I play virtually all my games at 1440-60 with high settings. So what's going on in this game? I've not played a single really good-looking game, even as of late. I've seen so many YouTubers play a part of this game, and most of them loved it. Don't overreact. The game is going to be great. Yeah, but I don't think you're understanding what... Okay, you got a guy with 1 million subs, and he loved it. You don't think it's suspicious at all that all the people that got early access are giving it praise? And somebody without a YouTube channel actually was the one that broke the news that there was no performance mode? That doesn't make you suspicious at all. Even SkillUp, okay, so SkillUp got early access to this game. He didn't give a glowing review of this. He didn't say it was amazing. He was hesitant to praise it. He talked about a lot of the issues. He was also playing through like a cloud. He wasn't playing a native install. Like, you're like, pointing to really big YouTubers liking it isn't indicative of anything. Also, I'm not disputing whether or not the game's going to be fun. That's not the debate point. The debate point is this game, similarly to the game that we covered yesterday, it seems poorly optimized. And to look and to turn and look at the PS5 and the Series X and to say, oh yeah, these systems just aren't that strong, guys. Hitting 60 FPS is just too hard. Listen to all the games I listed that are hitting 60 FPS. If anybody telling you that's just driving a false narrative. That simply isn't true. These consoles are doing great. And then, in the midst of this false narrative, Callisto Protocol walks out and was like, we're going to give you a 60 FPS performance mode. Do you want to know why they said that? Because the same people driving the false narrative about Gotham Knights and 30 FPS and, oh, it'll be fine, and, oh, they told us, just lie after lie, those same people, I had numerous people in my comments saying, oh, wait till you find out that Callisto Protocol's capped at 30. Wait till you find out that Hogwarts is capped at 30. Just the only way to cope with the disappointment is to just lie out your butt. Like, oh yeah, just gonna make stuff up. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here this morning. An incredibly strong start, over 400 people here. If you're here on the regular, it helps the video if you smash like. If you're hate watching, I really hope you realize this is not hate. I was looking forward to this game significantly. I played all the Arkham games. I'm not even bashing this game today. The focal point of today is defending consoles. I don't want to sit here and bash on the game, all right? I'm going to play it Friday. The 30 frames per second thing is incredibly disappointing. Why did I buy a next-gen console to get old-gen performance? I don't know. I don't know why people are so quick to defend old-gen performance. So it's not even about that. It's about defending consoles. Quit running a false narrative to defend one game. Like, I guess the entire industry is somehow wizards, and these guys just can't figure it out. I watched videos about some YouTubers playing it, and it looked great. That's not what we're discussing. Since the first gameplay trailer, they really improved the game. Nope, disagree. If you look at the first gameplay trailer of Batgirl, there have been multiple breakdowns by YouTubers, myself being one of those people. There is a decrease in graphical fidelity. There's a decrease in the fluidity of movement of the characters. There's a decrease in particle effects. This game has degraded its actual graphical presence since the first debut. That is simply untrue. Anybody saying that the game has looked better since that first trailer, they're selling you something. Like, I've even had people that are really looking forward to the game admit to me, they're like, yeah, it doesn't look as good as that first trailer, but it still looks like it's going to be fun. Some days ago, YouTubers played part of the game and it looked better. Okay, yeah. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? Most of the gameplay you're getting from YouTubers, take one guess where they're playing. Take one guess. I'll answer for you. They're playing on PC. They're playing on PC. So it looks better. Yes, it looks better because they're playing the version that we were all hoping we could play. They're playing probably at 60 FPS. They probably have certain things turned up. Homie, yes, the gameplay looks better. Don't you, oh my gosh. Don't you think that's a little suspicious? Doesn't that make your alarm bells go off? This close to launch? All you're getting is PC gameplay? Some played it on console like Hollow. Listen, man, if you're here to take up for the game because you're excited and you think it's going to be good and it's going to be fun, that has nothing to do with the discussion. I'm not trying to tell you that the game's going to suck and not be fun. I'm telling you, people are defending the game to a fault to the point that they're running with false narratives, like these consoles aren't strong enough. The point of today is to defend the consoles. These consoles are fine. When this game runs poorly this weekend for you on your console, and there's stutters and there's frame drops and there's issues, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. I think you're going to have in your mind what all these YouTubers are saying. All these consoles just aren't strong enough, bro. The consoles just aren't strong enough, and you're going to start to blame the console. And games like Horizon Forbidden West and Spider-Man and Returnal and Forza are all going to be sitting there saying, bro, there's no problems here. The video they put out last night's clearly on PC. Yeah, as soon as I saw one of the capes, somebody jumping and with like a cape, I was like, that's PC. I immediately could tell. Who says consoles aren't strong enough? Yo, homie, that's in the dialogue right now. I'm seeing it on Twitter. I'm seeing it in the comments on my shorts. I'm seeing it in YouTube videos. It 100% is the narrative shift. The narrative is shifting. So, first, could we get 200 likes? Listen, guys, the begging for likes is so cringe. I need you to come to the show and smash the like button. So many people showing up every day, and I'm having to beg for likes. Please. It's so cringe to constantly have to ask for likes. Please, just do it. Please, I'm begging. So I don't have to keep doing this. I would love to look up and just see us hitting good likes and not have to plead with 500 people to give me, like, a decent like ratio. So, here's the deal. This game was announced 2 years ago. So let me give you the full rundown so you could understand why people are worried, all right? So 2 years ago, this game debuts, and people like me were really excited, right? I 200%ed Arkham Knight. I defended Arkham Knight a lot, right? I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought people over-criticized Arkham Knight. So the game gets announced in 2020. Everybody's very excited, all right? About 2 years later, in May of this year, they quietly announce that it won't be on old gen. And they actually didn't announce it, right? Yeah, I know, Paul. The website's acting weird. They didn't announce that it wasn't going to be on old gen. They simply announced where you could order it. So a lot of people were concerned. They're like, what does that mean? And when they asked why it was suddenly not going to be on old gen, the answer they got was very generic. It was a very generic answer. It was very corporate speak. You know, there was nothing quite specific listed. They didn't list specific features. They didn't list specific things that the game would be doing. They simply said they wanted it to be like the best version of itself or whatever. It's very generic, all right? So it was understandable that people on old gen were kind of irritated. They were like, oh man, I was looking forward to this game. Because you have to remember, the Batman Arkham games were pretty popular. They were pretty popular. So they get left out in the cold, which I think it stands to reason. Many people thought, well, this game's really going to be great because it's doing too much. It can't be on old gen. Then fast forward to this month. We get to October, and somebody posts on a forum somewhere and says there's no performance option on the PS5. And it's understandable that people are like, well, maybe that'll get patched in later. Whatever version you're playing, maybe it's not there, right? I was playing Plague Tale Requiem yesterday. I went to the graphics menu, and there was no performance option. That's a little jarring since every next-gen game I have on my PS5, I can do that. I can choose between 4K 30 with ray tracing and performance mode. That's an industry standard at this point, right? So people go into their Discord and they're like, is there going to be a 60 FPS performance option? People weren't even asking about 30 FPS. They were saying, oh, am I going to have the option of picking 60 FPS? Those comments were deleted and those people were timed out, which means the people in that Discord were on guard about that inquiry. They didn't want people to know that there was no performance mode. Then in walks on White Knights on Steeds, all these people come in and say, oh no, we actually knew about this. This PS Access video on October the 5th, he says in passing that they played it 4K 30 with ray tracing. Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be shocking to anybody. The reason that guy's video, the reason that PS Access video didn't make headlines and didn't create shockwaves in the community was because that's standard. No one heard that and thought, oh my gosh, 4K 30 with ray tracing, what's going on? No, everybody heard that and thought, yeah, that's par for the course for next-gen games right now. Ratchet & Clank does it. Horizon Forbidden West does it. Lots of these games are like, here you go. You want to play 4K? You want ray tracing? It's 30 FPS. Oh, you prefer frames per second? Okay, we'll turn that stuff off. So they're trying to retroactively do damage control and basically lie. The people that are running this narrative are lying to the public. You can't go back and watch that video and claim that that was an announcement. It wasn't an announcement. It was a non-official channel referencing in passing that they happen to play a 4K 30 version of the game, which is standard in the industry. Now, fast forward to today. The PC specs hit, right? And what's the new false narrative people are running with? I'm seeing YouTube videos, I'm seeing comments on my videos, and I'm seeing tweets, and I'm seeing posts of people being like, yeah, these consoles just aren't strong enough. I had a guy in my comments just last night. He's like, you should go watch this video. This guy makes a really good case that 60 FPS just isn't going to be possible on these consoles. And I'm like, hold the phone. Literally hold the phone. That's not true. That's just another lie. You can't just keep stacking lies on top of lies. The PC requirements don't point to the fact that these consoles are too weak. The PC requirements literally look like a poorly optimized game. Pull up some PC specs. What do you mean? Oh, you guys want to see the comparison with Spider-Man? Like, this is the thing that nobody gets. There are games in the market right now on the PS5 that can demonstrate just how strong these systems are. There are games right now on the Series X that can demonstrate just how strong these systems are. Your expectation for 60 frames per second is not an unrealistic expectation. It's possible because the games exist right now. You can play games right now on your Series X and on your PlayStation 5 that have high fidelity graphics, amazing look, amazing stuff, and it's 60. And if you want 4K ray tracing, go ahead. It's 4K 30. Hearing 4K 30 is not alarming. I don't think anybody was like, oh, 4K 30, what? That's standard at this point. WB is being forced to do an FPS patch because of the backlash. I hate this anti-consumer bull. I'm not sure what you're saying. How is it anti-consumer? Who's being anti-consumer? Okay, so So here are the system requirements. Now, something you need to understand about this is there is so much here that, like, again, the point of today, I am not bashing Gotham Knights. I'm defending consoles, okay? I'm defending consoles. So when you look at these specs right here, it's very clear that we've been sold a bill of goods on a couple of things. Number one, when we were first told that a performance FPS mode on console wasn't possible, what did they say? It's not as simple as lowering resolution. Okay, that's true. Typically, you can't just lower resolution. You have to do more than that. You have to lower resolution, and you have to turn off ray tracing, okay? But look at the recommended box at the bottom. What are they targeting? It's comical. What are they targeting for their recommended PC experience? What? 60 FPS, read carefully, at 1080. They're targeting 60 FPS at 1080 with high settings, and look at the system that you need. Look at the rig that you need to run this game at 60 FPS 1080. Now, some of you might be hearing a lot of numbers, and you're like, I don't know what any of this means. I just play on console. Bro, if you play on PC and you look at this, this is laughable. This is a poorly optimized game, okay? Again, this isn't me bashing Gotham Knights. Poorly optimized is something that can happen to the greatest games. Elden Ring was a masterpiece, and it was poorly optimized when it came out, and it had to be fixed. This points to a poorly optimized game, which means this has nothing to do with the consoles. Stop blaming the consoles, as my thumbnail states. You can't blame the consoles, man. All 7 games that are truly PS5 this gen only all reportedly run 60 in some way, performance or whatever's. PS4 games that run at 60 on PS5 in the dozens, so I agree, it's not the hardware. I think it's technical debt, says Paul. For those of you that don't know what technical debt, in software development, technical debt is the implied cost of additional rework caused by choosing an easy solution now instead of using a better approach that would take longer. Analogous with monetary debt, if technical debt is not repaid, it can accumulate interest, making it harder to implement changes. Yeah, I tell you what the technical debt was. I'm going to tell you something right now. After playing Plague Tale Requiem and looking at this game, I'm going to put money on the table. It's the lighting. They're doing things with the lighting, and they bake it into the crust of the game, and then they can't take it out. They clearly did it with Plague Tale Requiem. Like, you look at certain lights and cascades of lights and fires, and the whole game stutters. It's like, what's going on here? What's happening? I think it's the lighting. And this is why I think they had to leave behind old gen. I think Gotham Knights did something with lighting. Because if you go and you look, like, somebody did a really good side-by-side comparison. I can't remember who it was. They had a really good side-by-side comparison of, like, the Gotham Knights characters and how they slowly started looking different in the footage that was coming out. And if you paid close attention, it was the lighting. Like, they were more detailed. There was a lot more detail to the textures, and there was a lot more things going on with the lighting. It was like, man, what are they doing? Yeah, not being able to turn ray tracing off. I'm telling you, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. It's the lighting. I think Plague Tale Requiem and Gotham Knights both did the same thing. They did something at some point in development. They made fundamental decisions with lighting and ray tracing, and it can't just be flipped off with the switch. Some games do that. They just let you turn it off, and your game immediately performs better because it's a very demanding thing. K. Cole with a $2 tip says, they said they hand-placed every light in the game. Jiminy Christmas. I wonder if Gotham Knights is using lighting that they shouldn't in UE4. Eugene says, so Callisto uses UE4, and the lighting is from UE5, because the UE5 lighting has so many benefits from visual and technical standpoint. You know what's funny about that, Eugene? When we covered the first Descendant, do you remember what they said about why they switched to UE5? What did they say? It was weird, because I was like, that's the reason? What did they say? They said the lighting. They said the same thing. They said, yeah, we switched First Descendant from UE4 to UE5 because of the lighting that we could do in UE5. No, I do not have a review copy of Gotham Knights. I will be playing it this Friday. Listen, there are people that keep getting into my comments and they're like, this guy's hating on Gotham Knights and he's going to buy it anyway. Those same people would give me grief if I didn't play it. But you didn't play it. Listen, I loved all of the Arkham games. I was looking forward to this game. It's why I continue to cover it. It's why I hold it accountable. I want it to be good. I want it to run well. I will be playing it. It would be stupid to look forward to the game, cover the game, express disappointment in some of the development decisions that they've made for the game, and then just not play it. That would make me look really dumb. So, of course I'm going to buy it. I'm a YouTuber who's been covering the game and criticizing it. Yes, I'm going to buy it and play it. It would look really dumb if I didn't. Oh yeah, he just hated on the game and then moved on and never touched it. That would look like a moron. Good morning, Phantom Phoenix. Should developers move away from ray tracing? Listen, Eugene might be onto something. So track with what we were just saying. So Callisto Protocol comes out and just flops it on the table last night and is like, just so we're clear, we're going to have a 60 FPS performance mode. One of the reasons they did that is people defending Gotham Knights are literally going to tweets and comments and saying, oh yeah, just wait, Callisto Protocol's capped at 30. No, it's not. Do you know what people are doing? They're running to trailers. They're running to gameplay videos. Commonly, gameplay videos are rendered, recorded, and uploaded in 30 FPS because there's a number of people in the community that will buy the game and play it at 30 FPS. There's a number of people that will buy the game and play it on the old consoles. We ran into this exact same thing with Horizon Forbidden West. The early looks at Horizon Forbidden West were 30 FPS. Everybody freaked out, and then we found out, nope, there'll be performance mode. We can get 60 FPS. Thumbs up from me. I can move on. I'm not worried. I remember covering that with Horizon Forbidden West. So more than likely, people are running the trailers and gameplay, and they're like, oh yeah, Callisto Protocol is going to be 30 FPS because this video is. Anyways, Callisto Protocol is using Unreal Engine 4, but for their lighting, they're using Unreal Engine 5. Now, Eugene's theory is maybe this game, Gotham Knights, is built in Unreal 4. Maybe they decided that they wanted to put ray tracing or new lighting tech in the game, and it led to all kinds of problems with UE4, which is why they dropped old gen. Which is why they're like, we can't even give people 60 FPS performance mode. It's not possible. Here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, just look at the guy, like, just look at this. This is all you need to see. HHM Gaming doing a comparison. Look, I told you, it's the lighting. Look at that. Look at how many extra points of lighting are hitting Red Hood. Let me get out of the way. Let me go to the other side. Look at that. This is all the proof we need. They did something in development at some point. This guy comparing 2021 to 2022, look at the difference. It's the lighting. I told you, my gut instinct playing Plague Tale Requiem, I was like, they did something with the lighting. Every time I look at lights or cascades of lights or fire, my whole game like stutters like crazy. So, does it look better? Yeah, it does. We said this. We actually covered this game previously, and I remember looking at this guy's video and saying, it looks to me like they went in and they added all this detail to the characters. I was theory crafting why they left behind old gen. So, it makes sense, right? This guy was doing the same thing. What on earth did they do to this game? Why did they have to leave behind old gen? So he goes fact-finding. Is that a cutscene or gameplay? I believe it's an in-engine cutscene. Yeah, it's an in-engine cutscene. You can clearly see that they have increased lighting significantly. He's getting hit more, like the lighting reflections on his face. I mean, look how flat it is on his shoulder and his head. It's so much more detailed. This is just a cutscene? Yes, but this is rendered in engine. Okay, fine, we'll go to gameplay. This entire video, he's showing that the actual engine itself is doing something different. Right? 2021 looks better. Yeah, I don't know if he goes through gameplay sections. This is in engine, so that means they did something at an engine level Let me see if he does gameplay. I don't know if he... We got to go back. Crispier textures. In this video, we're going to compare the scene newly released from gameplay footage for Gotham Knights. Okay, so it looks like there is going to be some gameplay. Can we see the original? Yeah, he's only doing the cutscenes. Does he show the original time them walking in? No, he doesn't. But you have to understand, it's still engine. It's an in-game character model. Look, that's the character model that just walked in there. They're not doing, this is not some cinematic. Do you see what I'm saying? That's in-engine. That's the character model moving around. The light sources haven't changed. The details haven't changed. It's the same thing. They did something with the lighting. It's a scripted in-game. It's not a cinematic. Right. You have to understand the difference between... I don't want that to sound condescending. You do have to understand the difference between a cinematic that's like a fully rendered video and when they just move the character's model around in-engine and then just do an audio dub. That's an in-engine cinematic. That's an in-engine cutscene, sorry. So the lighting and the character and the model, that's exactly how he moves and how he's lit when he's moving around in gameplay. The lighting changes from cutscene to gameplay? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because he walks up to the owl guy. Oh, no, the lighting does change. It is different. It is different. I would love to see gameplay comparisons. Yeah, I would love to see gameplay comparisons. The gameplay does seem more generic. The gameplay... Did you get my super chat? Oh my, hang on. East Coast Overlord with a $5 tip. I don't even know why consoles use ray tracing. All consoles are AMD who are worse at ray tracing. They should really save ray tracing for the pro models. Thank you for the $5 tip. Another $5 tip from Ronnie Day. What's funny is a Ghostbuster game came out, runs at 4K 60 on the new gen consoles. Listen, the reason that this stream exists today, and the reason my thumbnail says stop blaming consoles, because that's what people are doing. People are looking at the PC specs for this game, and they are claiming that this means consoles just can't give you 60 FPS. What they're not seeing is that these specs, you have to look at the bottom box, recommended. In order for you to get 60 FPS 1080, I want you to just stop and think about that. You don't need to know anything about technology. You don't need to know anything about GPUs, CPUs, RAM, overclocking, none of that. You can be a total computer novice. All you have to do is read the top line. They are recommending you to get a computer. The recommended computer can play the game at 60 FPS 1080. That's all you need to know something is wrong. Something is amiss. This is a $70 next-gen only game, and they're telling people on PC, if you play with our recommended specs, you will get 1080 60. Think about that for just a minute. That you don't even need to understand how computer tech works to know that doesn't sound right. It's BS. You can get 60 FPS on consoles if you turn off ray tracing and lower the setting. Do you understand now why we went and watched that guy's video that clearly shows they updated something with their lighting system? You can be like, oh, it's just in cutscenes. No, that probably means they did something at an engine level with the lighting if their cutscenes look completely different and have in-engine lighting that doesn't look the same. They did something. They made an adjustment. Now, it's totally fair to look at that guy's video and say, it looks better. You see my super chat? I missed yours, Big Vaughn. I am so sorry, Big Vaughn. $5 from Big Vaughn. They would look dumb adding an FPS patch after adding 4-player co-op in November and after blaming 30 lock on co-op. Like it all sounds goofy. Thank you for the $5 tip. Well, and this right here... This right here just seems bonkers. Like, what? Like, how is this... You told us you can't just lower resolution, but you're telling people on PC they're going to be mainly getting a 1080 60. I turned your earlier mess up into a GIF for you. What's the deal? I mean, I'm 25 feet away from my CRT television. That's so good. It's so good. The Game of the Year edition will have 60 FPS. Why do they do Game of the Year edition when they don't even get nominated for Game of the Year, right? Why? Grossly unoptimized. That's the point, Jonathan. Thank you. Listen, if you're here right now and you think I'm a hater, plenty of people are on my shorts calling me a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm a huge fan. My favorite superhero is Superman. I 200%ed Arkham Knight. I loved all of the Arkham games. The only one I didn't play was Arkham Origins. I was really looking forward to this game. If you go on a fact-finding mission and you just look at the facts, if you just look at the recommended PC specs targeting 60 FPS 1080, how can you say that, no, this game's totally fine, it's the consoles that are weak? That shows so much bias. If you treat this like a detective, pretend that you have no love for the game, you are simply trying to deduce the game's quality and optimization. Just act like a detective and comb over the facts. It's all troubling. Every piece of it should be troubling to you. If you just speak in facts, no opinion. Just speak in facts, no opinion. 2 years after release, they dropped old gen quietly. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Visible differences in the game from 2021 to 2022 are seen mostly in the lighting. They failed to tell people there would be no 60 FPS performance option. Anybody asking about a 60 FPS performance option in their Discord, comments were deleted and they were timed out. When they finally announced that there would be no 60 FPS performance option, they didn't do it officially on Twitter or any other channels. They did it quietly in their Discord. If you look at the PC requirements that just came out yesterday, they're targeting a recommended rig of reasonable strength that will only give you 60 FPS 1080. These are just facts. None of that was opinion. I just rattled off all the facts leading to this moment right now. And if you look at all those facts and your conclusion is, I guess the consoles are just not strong enough, that just sounds delusional. That's a non sequitur. Non sequitur means it does not follow. It doesn't logically follow to look at all these things and say, oh yeah, the consoles are weak. What? No. Look at the PC specs. Anybody who owns a PC will look at the recommended specs and tell you this game is not optimized well. My question, says Suede, is the lack of optimization a dev issue or publisher execs pushing timelines? In my opinion, optimization is what sets Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, etc. apart from the rest. This is the key. The key to open the box to solving all of this is two things: scope creep and shoving a game out too early. If you look at Plague Tale Requiem and you look at Batman, if you look at Gotham Knights, what do they both have in common? What do they both have in common? Measurable lack of optimization. There's no opinion here. There's guys in the tech world that are breaking all this down and saying this is just not optimized well. Requiem's in the wild right now and you can see it, and it's got problems. And anybody with even a modicum of experience with PCs and playing video games looks at this recommended box and says something is amiss, something is wrong. That's not a well-optimized game. Now, they have that in common. Do you want to know what else they have in common? They're both attempting to jump in right before the year gets crazy competitive. Call of Duty officially comes out next week? And these games both conveniently landed this week. You got next week Call of Duty, and Big Daddy Kratos is on the horizon in November, and Callisto Protocol is in December. For the longest time, Hogwarts was also coming in December. That's a big game, big title, big IP, big franchise landing in the holidays. So To me, the most simplest explanation here is Gotham Knights is not a bad game. It's a game that's going to fall prey to scope creep and coming out too early. Plague Tale Requiem is not a bad game for all intents and purposes. It's a good game with good story, voice acting, and it's cinematically beautiful, and the soundtrack's great. But guess what? It came out too early. It's not ready. It's so clear that it's not ready. So you should be upset by that as a fan. All signs point to this game having a good idea that's going to fall down the stairs because they just shoved it out when it wasn't ready. Haven't both been delayed too? I'm fairly certain we are dealing with that, Cliffo. Delay, no more delays, ship it. So that's why I keep trying to tell people, I am not bashing Gotham Knights. I was really looking forward to it, and I feel like I'm staring down the barrel of another mismanaged game. I was really looking forward to Cyberpunk. I was really looking forward to Plague Tale Requiem. And then you play them and you're like, man, what'd you guys do? You had a great game on your hands. You had a great idea. You had a great POV. What'd you do to this game? I don't know how you can't look at everything surrounding Gotham Knights and as a fan not just say, bro, what did y'all do to that game, man? But you're acting like a hater? I don't know how I can just say what I did for the last minute and a half and to say, oh, I'm acting like a hater. Like, I don't understand how you can say I'm acting like a hater. A $70 next-gen game is coming out, and it's offering recommended PC specs going to be 1080-60. A $70 next-gen only title, that's what they're offering you on PC. That's basically their baseline. Yeah, here's a reasonably strong computer, and it's going to hit 680. It's going to hit 1080-60. That should be worrying to you. Have I said the game is going to be bad? No. Have I said the game is going to be unenjoyable and not fun? No. If you were here a week ago, before I learned about the 30 FPS thing, do you want to know what I kept telling people? I said, you know what? I bet I'll have fun with this with my wife on the couch. We'll play co-op. I got 2 PS5s. People kept saying, what platform are you going to get it on? I was like, well, I'll get it on PS5, and then we'll both be able to play together. We do that with Returnal, and we have a good time. And then it was like more bad news came out. And then I saw this yesterday. I saw the PC specs. I'm like, bro, after playing Plague Tale Requiem, here we go again. Here's another game that isn't ready. It's clearly not ready. It's not. I'm not even saying anymore, this game's bad, it's trash. I'm telling you, all signs point to this game's not ready to launch. It doesn't seem ready to launch. $5 from Robert Jones. Look at the specs again. Min and recommended both target 1080-60. Why? Can it not do 4K? Look at the observation skills on Robert. Their minimum, way down here. This is fantastic, Robert. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Minimum. So 60 FPS 1080. Look at this system. A GTX 1660 is going to give you lowest settings. What, pray tell, do I get when I jump all the way up to an RTX 2070 and I double my RAM? What do I get? Oh, hold your breath, everybody. You go from low to high settings. That's what you get. That game, that all signs point to this game is not optimized. It's not ready for launch. Look at the differences in these rigs. And you just go from low to high. That's all you get. You don't get, your resolution doesn't go up. Your targeted frames per second doesn't go up. What? Come on. That's what I told the guy yesterday. If you treated this as if you were on a fact-finding mission instead of a fandom axe grind mission, you would think differently about all the things in front of you. You would think differently. That 1660, do you know what that 1660 has in common? Right here. This is a perfect example. Here's Spider-Man. So look at what 1080-60 they do. 1080-60, medium, And it's a GTX 1060 with 16 gig of RAM. So let's go all the way down to their minimum specs, right? 720/30, very low, a GTX 950, an i3, 8 gig. They're basically like, look, you can run this on a dadgum calculator, okay? And you're going to get 720/30, right? Now, I want you to look at something. Look at what happens when you jump up from minimum to recommended. Boom, resolution goes up. Boom, the settings go up, right? And then look what happens when you bump up one more time. 4K 60, very high. And look at the rig. An RTX 3070. Now, I compared this 3070, right? This rig right here, very high 4K 60, is roughly 20% stronger than what they're recommending here. It's an uptick in the system, but it's not tectonic. So you can get 4K 60 out of big, giant, open world Spider-Man. You can get 4K 60 with, was that high settings? No, you can get 4K 60 with very high settings with a reasonable upgrade from this. This rig is 60 1080. So you bump up from that 2070 to the next card up. It's roughly, like I said, it's roughly like a 20% increase from the research that I did this morning. That's without RTX though. Remember, Gotham Knights is forced RTX. That's it. Yeah, that's right. See, Cliffo just basically put the cherry on top of the pie, on top of the cake. That's exactly right. The reason that they're able to do this in Spider-Man, the reason they're able to do this in Spider-Man right here, this 4K 60, is because the ray tracing's not turned on. The minute you turn ray tracing on, look at what you lose. 1440 60 or 4K 30. So the resolution goes down, or the 30 or the frames per second goes down, right? So the minute ray tracing gets turned on, you lose all that. This right here just reeks of we baked ray tracing into the crust. It's on all of the time. You don't buy that it's because of RTX being forced? Eugene, don't you wonder, though? Wouldn't that be crazy? What do you think the PC homies are going to think if ray tracing's always on? Well, that wouldn't work on the other cards, would it? I don't think that could be true, Cliffo. Yo, what's good, Captain Steve? Love the t-shirt, retro and modern. Yeah, guys, this comes from the video game collection over there at 80s Tees. That is one of our sponsors. You can always use the shirt command. Head over to 80s Tees. Use code LONO for 30% off. They've got a great collection. Star Wars, Marvel, anything that you might be into, it's all there. Could we also get some more likes on the video? Huge turnout today. Listen, I'm going to continue to say this. If you're here hate watching, or you think I'm a hater, or you think I'm bashing the game, everything I'm saying is coming from a fan. I may not agree with you, but that doesn't mean I'm not a fan. My frustration is as a fan. If I hated this game, I would be indifferent toward it. I'd be like, I don't give a frick about this. You're never going to see me doing a passionate stream and debate about an RTS game or a sports game. That's, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it says steroids. Yeah, we gotta. Here, we'll go like that, and we'll go Astro instead of steroids. I'm starting to think ray tracing is just never worth the cost. I have a really hard time accepting that, like, better lighting is worth sacrificing the entire game's performance. It'd be like, hey, we put these really amazing lights in the front of your car, but now you can't go faster than 65 miles an hour. I'd be like, what? That's not worth it. Take them out? Like, I don't need that. Lighting's not that great. East Coast Overlord with a $5 tip through Super Chat. Small counter push. The 1660 Ti does not have ray tracing cores. That doesn't stop them from doing stupid RTX-like things with the lighting. Yeah, I'm not willing to go all the way down the theory rabbit hole and say, oh, they're forcing ray tracing all of the time. I don't think that that's the case. But I do think they bake something into the crust of the game with the lighting that's causing these issues. Lono debates how bad Madden is every year, but those dumb sports fans keep buying the game and feeding EA billions of dollars for digital football player cards. Yeah, I don't really spend a whole lot of time on Madden. I've never covered Madden. I mean, I tell people that the main reason that Madden and FIFA continue is because you have a willing consumer base. Like, keep getting mad at the companies, but the companies aren't going to stop feeding a willing consumer base. It's the consumers that keep that thing going. They can do stupid crap with the lighting. That stupid crap doesn't mean forced RTX. Yeah, I'm not willing to... like I said... My initial theory after playing Plague Tale Requiem and looking at the differences, Gotham Knights gameplay went through a change from 2021 to 2022, and a guy had a really great breakdown. And for all intents and purposes, you can clearly see that they did something with the lighting. He has really, really good side-by-sides, and these side-by-sides paint a very clear picture, right? They spent a year really becoming infatuated with lighting. Now, somebody's going to say, well, that's a cutscene. That's not gameplay. That's an in-engine cutscene, which means at an engine level, they've done things to allow them to create this, okay? So, at some level, somewhere along the line, they started pushing for something with the lighting. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it's forced ray tracing. We also, again, according to Callisto Protocol, we have it on good authority that they're building their game in UE4 and they're doing all the lighting in UE5. This game is in Unreal 4, so there could be things with the lighting that just aren't working that well. Oh, wow, look at that. Right, everything's more shiny. Now, we've looked at this before. I did a video, and we theorized on why they dropped old gen. And this video was what I used to say, I think they're adding things to the game with the lighting. And I said, maybe ray tracing, and that meant old gen just couldn't work anymore. Popcorn's amazing, says Corey. I called that this game was undercooked for the last few days, and now I'm waiting for the game to come out and run like crap on everything but the highest end PC. The Callisto Protocol is UE5. It started on UE4. Eugene said that they built the game, that the main game was UE4, and that they did the lighting on 5. Gotham Knights is basically UE 4.5, says Wheezy. Ray tracing. Lono, what game are you looking forward to the most if you had to pick one? Out of all the games coming, I would pick Hellblade 2. In the immediate future, I would pick God of War Ragnarok. Callisto is mainly UE4 with some UE5 implementation. You can't use one part of an engine and not the whole thing. Eugene is saying that Callisto is not purely UE5. Eugene, you might need to put a source in Discord because Paul is saying that it's all UE5. So you guys are saying things. One of you is right and one of you is wrong. I see his video every year and I'm a football fan, but I got tired of the devs not trying or EA caring about making Madden better. Like Lono said, the consumer base is willing to buy it. When it comes to ray tracing, says Suede, it depends on the design intent. There's a resource budget, especially with consoles, and devs need to use it appropriately. It's hard to have everything. The Callisto Protocol dev explains the tech behind the game's gory details. IGN interview. That's what Eugene is citing. Got to go for a bit? No problem. Listen, if you... I've not gotten to play Darktide yet. We have a first look coming today. There's a really cool side-scroller, like shoot 'em up 40K, Warhammer 40K game. Shooters, Blood, and Teeth. We got an early access code to that, so that'll hit our first look channel today. We have a first look channel for like early looks at games or quick looks at games. So... The Callisto Protocol supports ray tracing and some Unreal Engine 5 features. So yeah, apparently Callisto Protocol is a hybrid between Unreal 4 and Unreal 5. I played that shooters game. The music is great. Cliffo, where did you play? I played on the Switch, and I kept having, like, sound frame rate issues. Like, the sound would go... It would get crunchy, and I would drop frames on the Switch, which I attributed that to being... the Switch being too weak. You can port all your assets from Unreal 4 to 5. It's just you have a lot of optimization. Well, according to the reports and the interviews, 2 different articles, Callisto Protocol is not purely UE5 and it's not purely UE4. It's a hybrid. I've seen that the Switch isn't great. I played it on PC. Yeah, I had actual performance problems with the game on the Switch. It didn't run smooth. Right here, what engine is Callisto running on? We're working on Unreal Engine. It's like 4.2 or something like that. We have a lot of work to do. So it's 4.2. Okay. 4.27. I've seen this. Oh, never mind. I read that. I played it on PC. It was really good. Oh, the Warhammer game. It was really fun. It was. I was really enjoying it. Considering recent games are not entirely based on Unreal Engine 5, I'm excited to see the new Witcher game. If you had a PlayStation voucher for one new AAA game, what would you get this fall? God of War Ragnarok. Like, no hesitation. Ragnarok looks... It's a game of the year contender. There's no doubt in my mind that God of War Ragnarok is a Game of the Year contender. Guys, we're 1 hour into the broadcast, and sometimes YouTube can be kind of funky 1 hour in. It's seemingly being funky right now. If you had to refresh or had a stutter or a buffer, that's not me. YouTube's been doing some stuff. We're taking a weird dive. So if you're having to refresh... be sure to smash the like button. That will help us, kind of rebound from whatever's happening on the platform. They're trying to make live streaming better, and they're trying to make good updates. And in the process, it just causes some weird bugs every now and again when you're watching a live stream. Just know that it's not me. We stream at a very smooth bit rate, and my rig is smooth sailing. I don't have any issues with my rig. You got an early review key for Ragnarok? No, I did not. We're not quite big enough for that. One day I think we will be, but right now, when we hit 25K, we might start getting some of those offers. When we hit 50K, we'll probably get those offers pretty regularly, right? Mad because no 3080, but poo-poo console. They told me to say it. What are you talking about? Lono, have you seen the new story trailer that they released on the PlayStation channel? Yeah, I saw it. Creature thought we should cover that today. I didn't want to do that because I thought it was going to feel like a puff piece. I don't want to do puff pieces on Ragnarok. Like, I'm excited about the game, but I don't want to do a talk show where we just go, oh, look how great this game's going to be. Like, we did that once already with the release date, the pre-install date, and the embargo dropping. We did that one stream where it was like, hey, they must be pretty confident in this game. And we said, this is the date you're going to be able to pre-install. This is likely then the date that the embargo will drop. And that coverage was right. The embargo drops 6 days before the game releases. So, that to me, I think was good coverage. I don't want to just do a puff piece, though, to be like, oh, let's check out this trailer and, oh, more story details on Ragnarok. I want to have discussions. You said it's a hybrid of the two, so that would mean that they may have given a pre-alpha version of the Unreal 5 engine to the devs, because I've never heard of anything like that using Unreal. I mean, Wheezy said it happens all of the time, so maybe this is common when you're bridging the gap between two versions of an engine. You can grab pieces. Like, there might be pieces of UE5 that are compatible with versions of UE4, like the lighting. Does that make sense? Epic even helped us move some of these features back into our custom-made version of the engine. Well, there you go. It looks like Epic lended them a hand. That's pretty cool. Are you going to cover the Silent Hill news today? No, I'm not going to cover the Silent Hill news today. We will be... I'm really excited about this, too. We have a new sponsor that I'll be able to announce very, very soon. And they just shipped everything, and I don't know if I probably don't have a date. Yeah, Label Created. It's coming from Anaheim, so I'll probably have it later this week. Really excited about that. I think you guys are gonna like this one. It'll be a good one. So we got it. We the deal is signed. We got a new sponsor coming. Everybody hitting subscribe. Oh man, my short took off like a rocket today. Gamers defending 30 FPS is just soaring. Oh man, chat. We are, listen, I hope that some of y'all that are stopping by are seeing that those shorts are literally highlights and hot takes. It's not what we do here. Like, everybody thinks I'm like I'm some game-hating clickbaiter, and it's like, no, we do a live stream every day, and the debates get really passionate, and I grab the hottest moments and turn them into highlights. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize that. I don't think they realize what we're typically doing here. This guy just spent over 10 minutes of his life spreading toxic over Gotham Knights. Wow. How's this video toxic? Talk about being fragile. Sometimes the truth is toxic, especially in the video game industry, where you get companies that try to squeeze money out of their customers and withhold knowledge, like the lack of 60 FPS on a next-gen console. Pre-order canceled. Yeah, I don't understand. People are calling my videos toxic. That doesn't even make any sense. It's just informational. It's informational. Hey, if you pre-ordered Gotham Knights, you should be aware of this situation. You're just being toxic. How is that toxic? Like, what? Short Lono is game-hating baiter. Long Lono is thoughtful. That's right. That's correct. That's right. That's right. They don't even know, Eugene. Like, it's funny because they actually think, this is the best thing about those shorts, they actually think that I'm getting, like, upset and triggered. I'm literally chuckling as I type the replies. I'm on my mobile device being like, it's like, listen, it's probably my guilty pleasure right now. My guilty pleasure is replying to people on the shorts who are really upset. It's my guilty pleasure. It brings me some joy. It brings me some joy. It's probably not healthy, but you know, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. I was like that all weekend, stirring crap in the Gotham Knights Discord. Well, yeah, I don't want us to go into like Discords and stir crap. I don't want to do that. I try to have conversations, and on my own channel, I feel I'm well within my right to get a little trollish in my replies to people. They're like, this guy gets so triggered, he replies to every comment. I'm like, yep, I do. It helps the video. Like, every reply helps video. So Shorts Lono is like a character. It kind of is. It kind of is like a little character. I get to kind of be like, you know, a little trollish, a little baiting, and people get really, really mad. It's so funny how the truth stirs. Yeah. Well, here, let's get some discussion going. We've kind of gone through the first hour of the show, and now people are kind of drifting. Let's bring things back to the center. I said that Gotham Knights gameplay, I was worried early on. I said it looked like a mobile game. I've never been super big on hating on it. Even Yong Yeah, I didn't even realize this. Yong Yeah did a video 4 months ago, Gotham Knights vs. Arkham Knight Red Hood comparison. Red Hood combat comparison shows how slow and clunky combat is. I've never seen this. I want to react to this. I like Yong. I've reacted to vids of his before and disagreed with him, but that looks like a great video to react to. Anyway, let me bring things back central, okay? I have been worried and critical of Gotham Knights. I want you to think about this reality. All right, I want you to think about this reality. Quit spamming Melrose Mike. One time is enough, please. PC. Okay, so Gotham Knights PC is getting the option to lower settings and get 60 FPS. We are actually paying more on console and getting less options. Why is this okay? Why? Yong Yeah also has a video from 4 months ago. Gotham Knights gameplay demo being poorly received. It got ratioed 36,000 dislikes to 27,000 likes. PC is the Senate. Shorts are like a basketball highlight reel. We set them up in the live chat so we can dunk on all the fanboys. Just to confirm, it is $70. Yeah. I mean, how does that make you feel? Let's say you're a diehard fan right now. You've already pre-ordered the game. Why is it okay to spend more on a console and get less? You're getting less for more money. Because they think 4K 30 is next gen and worthy of the price. At some levels, 4K 30 is next gen if it's 4K 30 ray tracing and is, stable. Doesn't bother me. Not defending it, but it's okay and for devs and investors because we gave them billions for 30 FPS this past December. What are you referring to, Tom? You're not defending it, but it's okay for, to devs and investors. Oh, you're saying it's okay to the devs and investors because we gave them billions for 30 FPS this past December. What game are you talking about? Ooh. Oh, the past decade. No. That's literally what my short today talks about. You can't defend 30 FPS in this generation by referring to the previous generation. That doesn't make any sense. Console is an overall more anti-consumer market. You always get less mods, etc. Also, you have to pay to play online. Yeah, I don't think I agree with that. I don't think consoles are more anti-consumer. Just because you have to pay to play online, you're not just paying to play online. You're paying for access to an entire suite of. It's an entire infrastructure that they've built. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, Steam has like a friends list, but it's not an infrastructure that they've built that helps you like seamlessly play with people. It's not even that impressive. It's not that great. I don't know if I agree with that. When you're paying to play online, you're not paying to play online. You're paying for access to an entire infrastructure of things that they've built for you. There's a lot of quality that comes with that. Also, haven't they made it to where you don't have to pay to play online in a lot of games anymore? I thought they've walked a lot of that back. You're mainly paying now for subscription services like, oh, I'm getting a bunch of benefits from this. Oh, free-to-play games. That's right. Yeah, free-to-play games, you don't need to pay to play online anymore. Gotham Knights don't have servers. It's entirely peer-to-peer. Yikes. Pay online, but no dedicated servers. Consoles are not anti-consumer. PC, you yourself have to troubleshoot everything. Console is essentially a lockdown PC that keeps all your drivers up to date for you. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think both PC and console have their pros and cons, and calling one anti-consumer is weird to me. Yeah, but you get all the same for free on PC plus mods and support. Yes, but the mod support is not something that the PC... There's not some PC community doing that for you. It's a community doing that for you. So that you're attributing that to like... What, is there some overlord over PC granting you all those blessings? Microsoft and Sony are building infrastructure that is supported, updated, and improved, and there's tons of features. If you look at the suite of online features that you get on these platforms, it's well worth the dollars a month that you spend for access. You know what I'm saying? Devs are making excuses for consoles being lazy. Listen, Dante, I wanted to walk out today in the public and just shut that down. If anybody's going to try to walk out some argument to like, yeah, these consoles are just too weak, no. So today was not about bashing Gotham Knights. Today was about defending the consoles. Don't you start that crap. We are about to start to enter into a monsoon of top shelf games. Ragnarok's going to hit, Callisto's going to hit, Hogwarts is going to hit. All these games are going to hit and show. They're going to add to the laundry list of games right now that are crushing it. So take your game that's poorly optimized, Plague Tale Requiem shaking at 30 frames per second like a leaf, and take your Gotham Knights 4K 30 no performance mode, take a walk. Those games are not indicative of the market. They're indicative of poorly optimized games that were rushed to market in order to beat the next wave of games coming out. That's what they're representative of. Casual gamer might not know how to install a mod while on their console. They want it, click, and said there has been some mod support on console, so it's not like mods are completely absent from console. I mean, you have to remember that. That's, Listen, I want to say something to the people listening that have stuck around and have been here. A lot of people have pressed subscribe this morning, okay? I do not interrupt this stream with ads. Typically when you're on YouTube and watching like uploaded videos, you're getting ads beginning, middle, and end. This live stream and channel survives because people order the coffee and they become members. Okay, we do a members-only talk show at the end of every single day, and for $5 a month, you get access to that for the whole month and our members-only Discord. Consider becoming a member today. It's literally the cost of a cup of coffee, and it gets you into for the whole month, right? $5 is it, and it keeps me from having to run ads and disrupt the show all the time. So consider supporting the show. We've been streaming for over an hour, and this is the first mention of it to be like, hey, you can support me directly. Order some coffee. By the way, the coffee's not a sponsor. This is Reforge Gaming. Our coffee, Reforge Roast, it's ours. It's in my home. My wife and kiddos ship it to you. It's a small business. So those are the ways you can support what we do. And people in chat will tell you how great membership is and how great the coffee is. I really believe Gotham Knights ran out of rope with the taking 6 years in development, and WB told them no more delays. Right, John, that is such a good point. Do you honestly feel like stuff that you've seen from this game is evidence of 6 years of development? Because I certainly don't. Do you want to know what I see? I see a game that got caught in the valley between generations. That's what I see. It's almost like they were developing this game and everything was going along smoothly, and someone walked in the room and said, hey, we need to add ray tracing to this game. We got to be respectable on next gen. And it was like a wrecking ball just came and wrecked all their good work. Like, if you're a fan and you're looking forward to this game, at some level, you should be looking at it thinking, this just doesn't seem like a 6-year developed game. It seems like it got caught in the valley between generations. Like, this game would have been stellar on a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X. It'd have been fine. It'd have been like, oh man, it's basically a new Arkham game, but I can play with my buddies. Would you ever consider doing a review for AK? What's AK? Oh, do a review for Arkham Knight? That would be so not relevant right now. Is that what you're asking? Honestly going to miss these Gotham Knight streams after release. They're spicy. Lots of people show up. It's very popular. Like, the fact that this game is so popular, I'm telling you, it's the DC fans, man, they love their characters. They really wanted this game to be great. My question is why? Just pop it for last gen and make Gotham Knights 2 for new gen. Plague Tale at last, don't change your price like God of War. Yeah, God of War is going to be worth every red penny that I stack up and give to them. $70. Here you go, Big Daddy Kratos. Come bathe my eyeballs in beautiful 60 FPS gameplay. It's going to be worth every red cent that I give them. I will willingly pay $70 for games like Horizon Forbidden West and Returnal and Ratchet and Clank. If I was a guy that liked racing games, I would willingly pay $70 for games like Forza. I would, because they're doing things that are next gen. They look phenomenal. These games are brilliant. Forza got nominated for awards. It even won some awards. So glad someone said this. I'm tired of these companies rushing the game releases and leaving us with an unpolished title. All along, we still pay full price. Are devs required to make a game 60 FPS? Also, why do they start charging 70 for games? This generation is just trying to raise the cost. Now, some of that's justifiable. To me, it's a lot easier to justify a $70 price point when you can list the extra things you're getting. Does that make sense? So when you buy God of War Ragnarok on PS5, you're getting extra stuff. You're getting 3D audio, you're getting haptic feedback, you're getting 4K. Like, those are things that the developers had to spend extra time building, coding, and troubleshooting and bug squashing. That's all extra work that went into that so that I get those great features. And you on the PS4, you don't get those features. It's the difference between buying a DVD and a Blu-ray in my mind. It's like, yeah, DVD, and then the Blu-ray's more expensive, and it comes with a bunch of extra goodies. It's justifiable. It's totally justifiable. I'm getting more product. I'm getting better quality. Nobody batted an eye when you had to rebuy. Like when I had to rebuy the Lord of the Rings Blu-ray, I had DVD, and I bought Blu-ray, and it was more expensive. It wasn't even that I just paid for an upgrade fee. I had to buy it again. Nobody batted an eye at that. Why? Because it's just a total sensible value transmission. It's $10 more because you get more stuff. But when I look at Gotham Knights, I'm like, I don't understand what I'm paying extra for. They haven't said. Where is them substantiating the price increase? We left behind old gen, so we have no barometer for comparison. The only barometer for comparison that we have is the Gotham Knights PC version, which seemingly has more options because they can turn things up and down and get 60 FPS, and we don't. So we're spending $10 more for less. Besides, you can save 10 and buy the PS4 version if you don't value those things. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want any of those things, you can play the PS4 version. Sure. Yeah, save $10 and miss out on all that stuff. You're paying for locked ray tracing. Come on. It's coming to you in all of its 30 FPS glory. So on Gotham Knights, they have ray tracing. So would that be considered next gen? Technically, they could charge for more. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's just say a PlayStation 5 game came out. Let's say that God of War Ragnarok was coming out with just 4K ray tracing. No haptic feedback, no 3D audio, none of those extra goodies. I might be kind of like, I'd probably defend it. I'd be like, well, 4K ray tracing did require extra work. There was probably an entire team of people that helped optimize the 4K and the ray tracing. But I'd feel a little bit like, why didn't you do the other stuff? Why didn't you do haptic feedback? Why didn't you do 3D audio? Why wouldn't you do those things as well? I'm not saying that... Let me say it this way. 4K and ray tracing are next gen, and paying extra for that work, I think, is fine. The problem is, we don't have a baseline to compare it to. It's not like it launched on old gen and we can say, here's Gotham Knights on the PS4, here's Gotham Knights on the PS5, the $10 is justifiable. It's hard to justify. It's like, you want to know why it's hard for me to justify Gotham Knights being $70? I know so little about the performance of the game. The guy that was debating me on Twitter literally has a video that came out on the 5th, the day that he claims it was public knowledge that it was a 30 FPS capped game with no performance mode, which is a lie. That's not contained in the video from PS Access, because that guy's own video says we still don't know the performance of this game on console. We don't. Like, how am I supposed to justify $70 when you haven't just spelled it out? And when people try to get clarity on the game's performance on console, you deleted their questions and timed them out in your Discord, and then quietly announced in your Discord that there is no performance option. The whole Twitter interaction was gold. It blew my mind that he argued with me for an hour and told people to take accountability for not knowing, and then his own video is admittance that he watched that PS Access video, and what did he say? The devs need to answer these questions. He said that. And then when the devs answered the question, he tries to retroactively reinterpret an offhanded remark about somebody played on the PS5. No, somebody played a 4K 30 mode with ray tracing, and they said, that's what you'll be playing on PS5. And he's reinterpreting those comments. Like, the only way you can reinterpret those comments is because you know now. You didn't know then, just like everybody else. Lono stream is the only one I see when I search Gotham Knights. Let's go. Let's go. 4K and ray tracing at the cost of performance is not next gen. Wait. Hang on, Paul. How do you substantiate that claim when virtually every 4K ray tracing mode on the PlayStation 5 is 4K ray tracing 30? That is at the cost of performance. If I want to run 4K ray tracing in most of the games on the PS5, I'm running it at 30. And then if I want 60, I have to turn that stuff off. So I think that axiom is bizarre to me. Maybe it's just too broad. Maybe you need to explain, like, do you mean 4K and ray tracing, if it makes the game perform poorly, that's not next gen? Maybe that's what you mean. Okay, yes. I was going to say, like, it's intrinsic to adding 4K ray tracing that you will have lowered performance. That's intrinsic to adding it. Like, that's next gen. But if you add it and you end up with Plague Tale Requiem stuttering at 30 frames per second, it can't even maintain 30. Like, that's embarrassing. Ray tracing games on PC don't charge additional money. Okay. That doesn't mean there's an impetus on PlayStation to not charge more. Like, if a studio says, I'm going to make a game for PlayStation 5, and that studio says, we're going to add ray tracing, we're going to add 4K, we're going to work with their devs and their tech teams and their kits, because they have kits to help you with the haptic feedback and the 3D audio, more than likely. That's extra work. That's extra staff and bandwidth and resources that could have been spent on something else. That justifies charging me. Because guess what? If you don't want those features, buy the PS4 version. You literally can just be like, I opt out of that. You could do that with Ghost of Tsushima. You just opt out. You're like, yeah, I don't want those features. Save yourself a whopping $10 and you opt out of those features and you can play the PS4 version. I think it's completely legitimate for companies to charge for this. It basically clearly communicates to the consumer, this took time. This costs us money to do. It's not free. In the same way that when a movie company goes back and puts all these extra goodies and makes something look way better and they sell you the movie on Blu-ray, it costs more money. You're buying a different version of the movie. It's no different. It's no different than buying an album. And the album comes with extra goodies and art and maybe an extra song, a hidden track, and it's more expensive. You're buying a different version of that band's album. PC RTX games don't cost more. You know what does cost more? A card that had decent RTX features. That's a good point. That's a good point. You do pay for it on your PC. I know this video is about Gotham Knights, but have you seen the latest story trailer for God of War Ragnarok? Yeah, TG, we almost covered that today, but it felt like it was going to be a puff piece. I didn't want to run a puff piece. I just didn't. I wanted to run something that was dialogue driven. When's this Uncharted game supposed to release? I'm going to reset Steam. It keeps telling me it's not available yet. So what's the news on Gotham Knights? Is it 60 on PC? The PC requirements to hit 60, Ratchet, are kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You actually need a pretty reasonably strong rig to run it at 60. You do. I think it's in like 10 minutes. Oh, it must be at 11. Yeah, I can't update the game right now. It just keeps saying app not released. I'll try in 10 minutes. Oh, 9 a.m. Pacific? What? It's at 12? Even Christmas. Game will unlock in approximately less than an hour. All right, well, I'll try in 10. If it's at noon, that'll be cutting it close for us. 60 FPS. Yeah, here, let me pull it up. So for those of you that are just tuning in, the latest Gotham Knights update pertains to the PC specs. And I found these PC specs to be, I found them to be concerning. I did. I don't think these these PC specs look that great. I think they're worrisome. Okay, I found them. Find them and destroy them. Okay. So the main thing here is a lot of you guys might like kind of tune out, or your brain shuts down a little bit when we start looking at this kind of stuff, right? Because you're like, I don't know anything about technical stuff. I don't know anything about video cards. That's fine. I am not super up on the tech world either. What you want to look at is the bottom box, recommended, okay? So what they're recommending is, this is actually a pretty good PC. I wouldn't call this top of the line. I wouldn't call it mid. I would call this beefy. This is a beefy system. Yeah, this is a step up from a mid lane PC. This is a beefy system. This is a good system, and this good system is going to get you 60 FPS, 1080 resolution. Okay, so this is concerning to anybody with any knowledge of PC games and optimization, because what this looks like is a poorly optimized game. This rig that they're listing here, an iCore i7, 10700 and 16 gig of RAM and an RTX 2070, only getting 1080-60. And the other thing you have to consider is, look at the weak system up at the top. Okay, look at the weak system up at the top. It also is 1080-60. The only difference you get here is you go from lowest settings to high settings. So even if you're a complete PC gaming, PC world novice, funny enough, a 2070 is the reference card for next-gen consoles. Right, the other thing that's frustrating about this is we were told they couldn't give us a 60 FPS performance mode on the consoles, and yet their recommended PC is 1080-60. That rig on Benchmark says Hilly is above 80% for gaming. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is a beefy system. This is a good system. This is not something mid or weak. Okay? So, there's a lot of threads here that the point of today's stream, if you look at the thumbnail, is stop blaming the consoles. Anybody that's walking out right now, if they're going to Twitter, if they're going to YouTube, and they're blaming the consoles and saying the consoles are too weak, this Gotham Knights game is just too much for these consoles. No, that's not substantiated or demonstrated in the market. There are plenty of games right now achieving great things on these consoles. There is a laundry list of games hitting 60 FPS. There's a laundry list of games. And when you actually look at how this game is optimized for PC, it's looking worrisome. It's looking worrisome. None of those are with upscaling, says Wheezy. As someone who's used to running 2K120 on AAA games, it's concerning and it signs a bad optimization. 1080-60 is easy on next gen. Right? Hey, Reforge, considering there's a Ricky Martin fight scene, do you think there will be a Kylie spinning around boss fight? I don't even know who that is. They don't do benchmarks with any form of upscaling, says Wheeze. I'm not in tune necessarily to what you're saying. Man, I'm drinking. We had a couple bags saved up of Frickmas, and my wife made me open one, and I'm having some right now. You guys can't order it for like a month, but we had some left over from last year. Now, Lono, talking about prices, do you think game prices not following the inflating rate makes publishers are pushing for unready launches, cost cutting? Hang on, that's a complicated question. So you're asking if game prices not following inflation is why they're pushing for games not ready. It's probably a thread. I don't think it's the driving causality, no. I think the driving cause is games are expensive to make, and games like Gotham have been in development for a long time. And they're like, enough's enough. Push the dadgum game out. Yeah, I don't know who that Kylie person is. I'm sorry. I'll be 41 in like a couple of weeks. I'm an old man, and I don't listen to any of the new music. I'm way too busy. When I want to rock out, I go back to the greats. Foo Fighters, Smashing Pumpkins. I'll listen to some August Burns Red. Like I don't go Kylie's old school. Okay, maybe she's from the 90s. What's her style? I didn't listen to Kylie back then. I listened to Nirvana and grunge rock and punk rock. She's been around since the 80s. Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, pop dance music? Yeah, that would be why. You know her and you don't even know it? Kylie and Minigue. I don't even know how to say her name. I don't know who the frick this person is, bro. I don't know who that person is. Sorry. Music is a little loud. Is it louder than normal? It's on 4. I'll bump it to 3. The mix did get different when we switched back. Minogue. She's my favorite. It's just one of those things. I'm telling you, back then I didn't listen to any of that stuff. I listened to like rock and roll, punk rock, and grunge rock, and you know what I'm saying? Sorry. All right, we got to get things back on track. Let me pull out another question. All right. Let me put this up on the board for you guys. The Gotham Knights devs said that you can't just lower res to get more FPS, yet they show 1080 to get 60 FPS on PC as the recommended PC specs. Does this feel dishonest or something else? Like, what's the deal with this? Like, you came out and said, well, we can't just lower res to get FPS, but their target on PC with recommended is 1080 60. That sounds contradictory. You've had to have heard the Can't Get You Out of My Head song somewhere. I'm sure I heard the song. It's okay if you don't know, but don't try to normalize it. We will forgive you. I'm not trying to normalize it. There's probably plenty of artists that you didn't listen to or hear of back then. We all listen to our own little bubble. Wheezy says it isn't dishonest. You can't lower the res because it's already 1080. It's because of scalability of PC versus console. Right. And see, Wheezy, I think that's what people are trying to do. I will give them this. They are honest on that front. On that front. That's the only front. Well, here's the thing, Wheeze. That's what I think people are trying to do. I think they're trying to grab this and they're trying to say, look, they can get 60. Look at the scalability of PCs. These consoles are just too weak. And they don't actually understand the point that they're making. Right? They're pointing to something. It's almost as if they're using an indictment of the game to try to criticize consoles. That's funny. Not that you can't do it. It isn't always that simple. Right, but to me, it looks like they created a baseline for PC and said 60 FPS with high settings is the baseline. Why didn't they do that for console? You have settings for PC and consoles, you don't. That's it. But this is in their minds. When they were making this game, 60 FPS 1080 with high settings is a baseline. Why wouldn't you create that baseline for console? That seems reasonable to me. It seems reasonable for me to expect that. That's baked in. So are we thinking Silent Hill will be another exclusive on Sony that Sony pretends like they don't get? We're not debating that today, but trying to invoke exclusivity in that overarching debate about Call of Duty is a position that we have slapped around many, many times. Both companies do exclusives. That's never been the debate. The fundamental misunderstanding of the discussion in that debate to invoke other exclusives. Let's call a spade a spade. This is poor development. You stopped me from pre-ordering in my tracks. One of my favorite comments I've been getting from people is they're like, thanks to your short, I went and pre-ordered the game. I'm like, first of all, you ain't gotta lie, Craig. We know that you were already buying it or already pre-ordered it. There's no way on God's green earth that you opened your phone and found a YouTube video of somebody ranting about Gotham Knights and you were like, I didn't know about this game. I'm going to go pre-order it now. Like, imagine coping that hard. Be like, I'm going to lie. Did you get into that? I just got notified that I did. Let me check. Let me check, creature. If they're going out in waves, I may find out sometime today. I've not gotten an email yet, no. Stop blaming consoles for being the majority platform due to price. Corporations being greedy and targeting the peasants to maximize profits. It's literally consoles' fault that games are crap. Oh, it's consoles' fault? Really? Let me just list a bunch of games that are hitting amazing next-gen performance, and some of these have won awards. Forza, Horizon Forbidden West, Demon's Souls Remake, Returnal, Ratchet & Clank, Last of Us Remake, God of War Ragnarok is on the way. Looks incredible. Callisto Protocol has announced they'll have a 60 FPS performance mode. They have a hybrid between Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal 5 for lighting. Hogwarts Legacy. Also, all these 60 FPS updates for beautiful games like God of War 2018, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, the FPS boost feature on Xbox. Plague Tale Innocence got a nice next-gen update. But consoles are to blame for the state of gaming. Consoles are crushing it right now. They're crushing it. The games that are landing on these consoles are amazing. They're so amazing. Get this. Shh, don't tell anybody this. Don't tell anybody this. The games are coming to PC. They are. Oh, wait, hang on. And they're breaking records. They're breaking records when they come. Shh, don't tell anybody, though. But console games are the problem. Consoles are the problem. Yeah. Quit blaming consoles. Ratchet with a $9 tip through Super Chat. Thanks for the info. Please give this money to one person for a free membership. I would do it myself, but on the phone. Yo, Ratchet's asking for some gifted memberships. Hey, I just read right now that if Call of Duty is bought by Microsoft, they still won't be able to put it on Game Pass till Sony contract is over. Yeah, that's why Microsoft only wanted to give them a 3-year extension. Oh, further attempts to disrupt, just like Willie. Yeah, TTS Gaming. Yeah, Eugene's right to peg you. Don't come in and do that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Gotham Knights update. Don't come in here and invoke your Call of Duty Microsoft axe grind. Sit down and be quiet, or talk about the topic at hand. Yeah. You caught me unguarded, and I engaged your comment. Knock that crap off. You want to come in here and do your Microsoft song and dance, do it when it's the actual topic of the video. You frickin' guys that come in here and do this, I will walk you out the door the same way I walked the last couple of guys out the door. He's talking about video games. It's time for me to grind my axe for Microsoft. Quit being a Winnie host. I'm I'm not a horse. What are you talking about? There's no whinnying here. Oh, I was going to play with my food. I was going to play with my food. One of my mods banned him. Stop being a whinny host. You got Thanos snapped out of existence. Got straight Thanos snapped. I approved his message. Like, here we go. I wanted to give a free membership with my money I just sent you. I don't like doing that, Ratchet. I appreciate you doing it, but we don't like doing that. You give me 5 and then I gift. It sets a bad precedent. Yo, San D. Garcia with a $5 tip. I almost pre-ordered Gotham Knights, but instead I made an even better decision to pre-order God of War Ragnarok. Lock 30 FPS on next gen is not it. It's not it. It's not. You are right. It isn't. It absolutely blew my mind. It blew my mind that people went back and they watched that PS Access video and they're like, see right here, smoking gun. This guy said that they played a 4K 30 ray tracing version of the game and that's what you're going to be playing on PS5. And it's like, yes, those of us that own PS5s are actually very familiar with that because every next-gen game that's come out for my PS5, I can play 4K 30 if I want, or performance mode if I want. Hearing 4K 30 is not alarming if you actually own a PS5. What these people are betraying is they don't own PS5s. Or if they do, they haven't bought any games for it. Or if they've purchased any games for it, they've not gone into the settings and done anything. Like, you're literally telling everybody you're ignorant when you think a video on October the 5th saying, we played this game 4K 30 with ray tracing, and that's what you'll be playing on PlayStation. You think that's a smoking gun because you're ignorant. You either don't own a PS5 or you've not been paying attention to the gaming market. Like, this is your first rodeo covering a game. Those of us who this isn't our first rodeo, like, I don't know, the rest of gaming YouTube and every gaming journalist outlet that exists, nobody heard that and thought, oh my gosh, 4K 30? Oh, it's shocking. It's not shocking because it's an industry standard. It's an option in games right now. I'm telling you, some of this is literally because it's your first rodeo being tuned into a game. You either don't own a PS5 or some of these guys, it's like you've apparently not covered any video games prior to today. All I do is win no matter what. Got oats on my mind, can never get enough. When I walk into the stables, everyone's tails go up and they neigh there. And they neigh there. Bro, stop. Stop. That's good. That's real good. And they neigh there, bro. That is absolutely horrible. That is horrible. Truly awful. Oh. I know it's not good for you. I gave you more cost than it is to do. All G. All right, I'll do it, Ratchet. I'll do it. We did this for a while, and it becomes extremely disruptive because people start giving me super chats, and they want to gift members. I will honor it. Wait, no, that's not the right one. Hang on, I clicked on the wrong one. I'll honor it. I'll gift a member. I'll take your 10 spot, and I'll gift a member. Anybody else that wants to gift members, you can jump on this gifted member train. Let's see who gets this one. Horse and dad jokes is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. There it is. We haven't had any gifted members in a while. There we go. Goes to M Man June. They've been here a lot this morning talking, so that's good to see. I like seeing somebody who's plugged in, engaged in the conversation, getting a membership. Anytime you guys get a membership, make sure you check out our Discord. It's a members-only Discord, and we do a members-only talk show Monday through Friday. That's how we end our day. C.A. Wicks is going to gift a member as well. Something told me I had to check the Discord just now. I hate that so much. Do better, Eugene. Yo, Big Vaughn. Big Vaughn's been here quite a bit lately. Just got a gifted membership. Welcome on in to Reforge Gaming. Welcome to the Forge. That's what I'm supposed to say. Don't ask for it again in that way. No, you're good, Ratchet. We just did it one day, and people kept doing it. It's like, Super Chat Lono, and then I've got to give the money. Super Chat Lono, and I only get 70%, right? So you offset for that. That you covered me, but I just don't like doing it. Thank you, Ratchet and Reforge. I'll be here. I'll keep being here because this is the best channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gotham Knights open world looks kind of meh. Is it just me? Here's the thing. I have tried today to stay in the factual. I don't want to get down into the subjective, into the opinions, but yeah, I feel like the open world and the city looks kind of bland compared to Arkham Knight. But you're just going to get people saying that that's your opinion. Yo, Freddie Jackson gifted a member. It went to Spriggan. Spriggan's here all the time. I love seeing faithful names get a membership. Foggy hit a 6-month milestone with their membership, and Quintar Silver jumped in brand new as a member. Welcome on in. Little bit of a member train going. Jump on this member train. Pay it forward. Give some members. Become a member. We greatly appreciate it. That's how live streams survive on YouTube. You will notice I am not out here running ads and disrupting the show. I am constantly talking and keeping it super interactive. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to be able to play Uncharted until noon. That means in 48 minutes. Okay, we'll be good. We're going to have to take this show to 3 hours. Yo, Zyber gifted a member, and it went to Bjorn Skarsgård. Dark Age Gaming gifted 5 members. No, I'm sorry. Zyber gifted 5. Alien, Psychopath, Shannon Daniel, Astrid, and Zach all got them. And then the 5 from Dark Age went to Cujo. Cujo's here all the time. Carl, Lawrence is here all the time. Rockin' Robin's here all the time. And Ryan, you guys all got them. Peepo's going to jump in and give 5. It goes to Soulman Grim, Tarix, Shadow Ninja, QBZ, and Corey Davidson. You guys all got gifted members. If I called your name, if you got an alert, check the chat. You may have a badge next to your name. You may have emotes now. You have access to members-only content on this channel. And you have access to my members-only Discord. Google Beats hit a 14-month milestone. Keep it rolling. What's the agenda for Friday? COD campaign? We'll be playing the COD campaign tomorrow. Friday, we're playing Gotham. Dan Zatasic says, let's keep the gifted member train going. He gives 5 members. Hans Castillo, Reg, R5, Boozy, Dr. Dinglenut is here all the time, and so is Patrick GF. You guys all got gifted members. Dodevas is 1 month away from a year. 11-month milestone. Welcome in. If I called your name, if you are now a gifted member, you have a whole month of access. Consider becoming your own member next month if you enjoy the members-only content, if you enjoy the members-only Discord. Consider picking up your own membership next month. It makes room for others when the community is this crazy generous. Dodeva says, hey, I'm going to do some as well. Gifts 5 members. Patrick Meadows is here all the time. Random Zero as well. H. Brownie is also here a lot. Grimlock Prox and East 8. You guys all got a gifted membership. You guys are going crazy. I love to see it. I love that we wait too until we're further in the stream. So all of like the loyal folks that stick around and continue watching the show and supporting, they get the memberships. I love seeing that. We'd be reacting to the Yang Gotham video on stream. No, reaction videos go over on my Reforge reaction channel. We don't do reaction content on this channel anymore. We thought it was better to create a channel specifically for that so that the reaction content is more short form. So if you're not subscribed to the Reforge Reacts channel, make sure that you are. Dr. Dinglenut wants to pay it forward. He got a gifted member, so he's going to gift 5. If you're getting a gifted member and you want to pay it forward, feel free to do what Dr. Dinglenut just did. Seraphim Rudy Plays, Hiram Simmons, Awesome 23, Matt Peretta, and 1030 Media Group all got gifted members. And Siege Master just hit an 11-month milestone, and it's a tier 2. This man, better subscription than a streaming service. And then 1 gifted membership from Melrose Mike goes to King Arthur. You like King Arthur? That there's me front doorstep, sir. It pulls Spyro out of me legs, sir. You like King Arthur? What is this? Is it Vinta? It's blood from a cat's face. Oh, that is such a funny skit. Zinthos. Zinthos with a gifted membership. There it is. Arthur Torres gets Zinthos gifted membership. Welcome on in to Reforge Gaming as a member. It's better than Netflix, not quite Disney Plus. That's the endorsement I want to hear. Slightly off topic, what are your concerns with the Dead Space remake? Will it suffer the same problems we're seeing with Gotham Knights? You know, I can't do this without sounding like really peacocky, but my batting average is really good right now, bro. Like, I don't know. I look at certain things and I call it, and I'm like, something's wrong there. And man, oh man, when I look at Dead Space, I'm like, something's wrong there, bro. Something's not right. It looks phenomenal. It looks really good compared to the original, but it don't look like no $70 next-gen game. It looks like a it looks like a 10 out of 10 remaster, which is me praising it. That's not a slam. It looks like a 10 out of 10 remaster. It does not look like a $70 next-gen remake. This channel has a real lack of superhero movies. Guys, don't forget, as a member, the last Friday of the month is when we are doing the Star Wars Episode 1 watch party. You need to be able to watch Star Wars Episode 1 on your own or through Disney Plus. That's October the 28th. This Friday, my wife and I will be continuing playing spooky games in the spirit of October. Friday nights are streams with my wife, and they are members only. You can go back and watch the previous ones. We recently played through Little Hope, a dark anthology game, and then we also played through The Quarry. They're very funny. Don't miss out on those. Love the steroid shirt. It clearly says asteroids. I keep dragging my hoodie. You can't even see the S over here because of the mic. Shut up. Rest in peace, Repeat Theater. Yeah. I wonder how many people got that reference. What, the King Arthur thing that I did? That's right. I will be playing Gotham Knights probably on the PS5, because in the event they give it a 60 FPS update, I want to be able to play co-op with my wife. So I'll probably get it on the PS5. I may get it on Steam just to do a side-by-side comparison, then I'll just get a refund. I wouldn't keep it on PC. Because I think I would be legitimate in my refund. I'd be like, it doesn't perform well, because I don't think it's going to. Now, if it blew me away and it was amazing on PC, I would let them keep my money. I'd be like, okay, I was wrong. You can keep my money. I'm fairly confident I'll play it on Steam and be like, this is unoptimized garbage. Give me my money back. Will you stream it at first or play through it and then stream? I'll probably record 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay for the First Look channel, and then I'll just play it with you guys later that day. Like, we'll do a talk show Friday morning. So Friday morning is already booked. We'll likely be doing a first impressions of Modern Warfare 2's campaign Friday morning, and then we'll play Gotham. Thursday, tomorrow, we're going to talk Modern Warfare 2, everything we know in anticipation, and then we're going to jump into the Modern Warfare 2 campaign tomorrow. Yeah, Mighty Boosh. Yeah, the Crack Fox. I'm thinking of getting a PS5 and a PC because most of my friends are getting it on PC, and I want to chill with them as well. Play some PS5. Yeah, don't forget that there's no crossplay. New World. I don't really have any plans to go back to New World. They do way too much with the purple platform. It really hurts live viewership over here. Yo, Eknor gifting 5 memberships. My man Sandy Garcia did a super chat tip today and has been contributing to the conversation and just got gifted a membership. Azo, Alex Jordan, Evan Linton, and Texas Heat. Texas Heat is here all of the time. Enjoy that membership. Sandy Garcia says, playing Gotham Knights on PS5 is like driving a Hellcat without the Hemi engine. It feels that way, right? It's like, it seems like the only way to get this game to run well, look well, is to play it on PC. Like, it's such a boring, not boring, but such a disappointing reality. Noel Fielding is a national treasure. Yeah, the Great British Bake Off. My wife watched that a lot, and he really made it enjoyable. I like him. I like Noel. Yo, it's good, Eknor. Busy with some work. Man, thank you so much for more gifted members. Everybody that gifted members, thank you so much. You added 42 members to our group here today. Let's round that off with a nice, I don't know, what do you guys think? 100? Let's get another 50 or so. Get 10 more people to get 5. You know, if 10 people get 5, that'll round us out. Playing Gotham Knights on next gen is like Mormon soaking. I don't even know what that is. What is that? The actual PC port is outsourced to a different developer. Maybe that's why the system recs suck. I don't know. See, here's the problem, Georgie. What you're doing is so biased because you're attempting, right? I say this with a smirk, but also some like, come on, bro. It's like anything to shield the actual devs from blame. Well, it's the console's fault. The consoles are too weak. Well, then you look at the PC recommendations and you're like, this is not a very well-optimized game. Well, it's the company that ported the game's fault. Like, at what point are you willing to admit that maybe it's on the company that made the game? Maybe, just maybe, the project has been mismanaged. Maybe, just maybe, they're rushing this thing before it's ready because they need to ship it before the next wave of big games comes out. I agree that the project is completely mismanaged. Okay. There's just a lot of people doing that, Georgie. It's like they're trying to run and find some other reason. Oh, it's consoles are weak. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my man Snowy gifted 5 memberships. Vig Gaming, 9 Milli Productions, Tony C, Shane Molitor, Mist Fiend, pushing us to 47 gifted members for the day. Hilly says, if you guys do 35 more, he'll do the last 10. Hilly will do the final 10. If you guys get us to 90 gifted members for the day, Hilly said he'll do the final 10. No one ever said this game is a port to PC. Why would it be a port? Yeah, Georgie, I don't think anybody... what information do you have on the company porting it? Do we even know if it's been ported by another company? Do we know that? It's bad development work. It's bad development decisions. It's a bunch of things. But at its most basic level, it's bad dev work. Exactly. That's exactly right. Oh, he was speculating, guys. Okay. No. Yeah, Arkham Knight had a bad PC port. I understand the speculation now. We don't have any reason to think that it has been. Why can't I gift a sub? You have to do it in a browser sometimes. Some of the mobile versions of the apps don't let you. Cardoc Ren does another 5 gifted. Lost Plug, Vicious Rain, Deep B, Man Baller, Dominic Jays, Michael Silva. You guys all got gifted members. That emote, Lono Stinks, that's supposed to be my son. My wife and son and daughter all have their own emotes. 22 months. Cardoc Ren getting closer and closer to a 2-month milestone. That's a nice milestone. 2 months, and it's a tier 2. It's a lot of 2s. I need to just start giving you guys tier 2 and up videos. I just need to start doing it. At the very least, maybe just turn it on in the morning and carrying you around and do a mobile stream. You know what I mean? You can kind of see the studio, see what I'm doing in the morning, see my process. Little 20-minute, 30-minute stream just for tier 2s and above. Gotham Knight game looks good, but I wish it were managed correctly. Yeah, to me, M-Man, this is what it kind of feels like. It's like I drove a Civic, and then I drove another Civic, and then another Civic, and I really liked those. They were great cars, right? That's the 3 Arkham games. And then a car very similar to the Civic came out, and it looked shiny and new with new features, and it doesn't drive very well. Like, that's what this feels like. It feels like, okay, I see the clear inspiration. I see the connection. If I like driving a Civic, I'm going to like driving this car. I'm saying Civic because it was like the first car I ever owned was a 2000 Civic stick shift. So, 20 minutes of Lono picking out a T for the day. There you go. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, man, this game is clearly inspired by all the Arkham games, so now this is going to be great, and it's shiny, and it's new, and it's got new features, but then everything we're looking at is like, it just doesn't look like it runs very well. It's worrying. It's just like the Plague Tale Requiem situation. Gotham Knights is probably locked at 30 because they wanted it to come to mobile. It'll be easier to port it locked at 30. After the backlash, Gotham Knights will get 60 on console down the road, I'm sure. Cody, I didn't even walk that theory out today, but y'all know I've been saying for a while that there's something weird about this game. It feels like it's built on mobile architecture. They move like mobile characters. You're fighting in mobile set piece scenes. Would you prefer double dippers to cancel one membership and upgrade to tier 2 instead? Oh yeah, Meech. If you're double dipping on another on another channel, I'd rather you do a tier 2 here, because if I start doing tier 2 and above streams and videos, seeing interaction, comments, or even chat from you guys would be way more important than you having a tier 1 here and a tier 1 somewhere else. We're not doing any membership perks on the other channels. That's just you being awesome. I've been double dipping on the big channel for months. I know why some of y'all do that, because that channel's there and it's old and you love it, but it's just time to come home. It's time to come home, baby. Like, this is home. Like, Reforge Gaming is home. I get it. I get it. That's a big channel, and some of you guys have crazy long milestones over there, but it's time to come home, brother. Time to come home, sister. Wherever you are, whoever you are. Carrying members on that channel is awesome, and we love you, but this is the channel. This is home base. Although, if I could get all the people who are double dipping over there to come here and do a tier 2, that would be phenomenal. Yo, Hilly with the 10 gifted bomb. Big one from Hilly. Dite, Joseph, Jeff England, Cornell Collins, Spawns 3131, Sebastian, Avit 7. Is that all of them? 2, 4, 6. There's 8. Aiden, AB7. Megadeth Mayhem and Dustin. Frayol Dovin. We'll just call you Dustin. Yo, you guys all got gifted memberships. We are now at 62 gifted members for the day. We're roughly 40 away from 100. I wanted to see 100 gifted members today. It's my birthday next week, so sending the love. Yo, happy birthday, Hilly. You the best. I triple dip because I want to support you more, and I'm tier 2 here. Oh, that's totally fine. If you want to triple, double dip, quadruple dip, we absolutely love you. We truly do. But if you're double dipping and you're like a tier 1 here, it's way more helpful to just do a tier 2 here instead of double dipping. It's way more helpful. If we could really create a vibe of like, yo, tier 2s are VIPs. Tier 2s get their own room. They get their own streams. They get their own this. That would really motivate a lot of people to bump up. And that's a huge benefit to us because that helps subsidize new content. I can't start doing a bunch of new content for tier 2s and up unless there's demand, unless there's a movement for it. Does that make sense? How do I upgrade my membership on mobile? I don't know. Yo, Darth Nihilus taking us to 67 gifted members with 5 more. Is Reforge First Look the old S&T? Yes, Arthur. Yeah. Reforge First Look is that old channel. Yes. Elvis with a grab of the membership. Thorish, Adrian Zamet, Lost Terror, and Cod Lover. You guys all got a gifted member. That means you get into our members-only Discord. You get into the members-only talk shows that we do every single day. Welcome on into Reforge Gaming. It absolutely kills me that people think this is a smoking gun. It's not a smoking gun. They did mention it. They did mention the 30 FPS. Oh my gosh. Yes. And 30 FPS 4K is an industry standard. Just like performance mode. The lack of performance mode is the issue. This video is not a smoking gun. It isn't. Folks are just showing their ignorance, their big rice, their ignorance about next-gen games. Probably don't own a PS5 or any next-gen games. Like, you clearly don't you don't own a next-gen console. If you did, you would know. This is standard. Yes, and 30 FPS 4K is an industry standard, just like performance mode. The lack of performance mode is the issue. This video is not a smoking gun. Folks are just showing their ignorance about next-gen games. Probably don't own a PS5 or any next-gen games. If you actually owned a next-gen console or any next-gen games, then you would know that a video mentioning 4K 30 means literally nothing. We need 25 more likes to 600. Yeah. Big rice is my jam. Yeah, I went showing your ignorance, showing your big rice. It's not even being rude like you don't have next gen, haha. It's like, but you don't own it. You can't say it, you just don't own it. Right, like, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like, if you think that video from October the 5th is a smoking gun, you're literally telling the world that you're ignorant about next-gen games. See, on October the 5th, somebody said in passing that Gotham Knights can be played at 4K 30 with ray tracing. Yes, that's an industry standard right now in virtually every next-gen game that comes out. You clearly either don't own a PS5 or you've not purchased any next-gen games, or if you have, you haven't fiddled with any of the settings. You're letting everybody know you're ignorant when you claim that October 5th video is a smoking gun. It's nothing. It's a guy mentioning in passing that they played the game at 4K 30 with ray tracing, and he says, and that's what you'll be playing on PS5. No one was shocked by that, because you can play games right now 4K 30 with ray tracing on the PS5. And I know this is mind-blowing. You can turn it off if you would prefer performance mode. They don't get it. They're looking through the wrong end of the telescope. They're thinking, see, they told us it was going to be 30 FPS. No, they didn't. People are not upset about 4K 30 ray tracing. They're upset that there's no performance mode. Again, the people running this narrative are both dishonest and ignorant. They're not informed about next-gen standards in the industry, and they're clearly just running with a false narrative. No, I'm not arguing with him, Eugene, but everybody's running to my comments to say, oh no, they mentioned it on October the 5th. Here's the video. And I'm like, I just told a guy, I was like, you clearly are ignorant about next-gen games. This is not alarming at all. 4K 30 with ray tracing isn't surprising. It's not alarming. There's no smoking gun here. I'm telling you. You want to know what it is, Eugene? I said this a little while ago. It's your first rodeo covering games, isn't it? It's your first day. You've not been covering video games for very long if you think that video is some kind of a smoking gun. If you've been covering video games since the inception of the Series X and the PlayStation 5, you would know how dumb you look. You would know how foolish you look. You look absolutely foolish. Getting a next-gen game with 4K 30 ray tracing is basically it's a baseline expectation at this point. We got it in Horizon Forbidden West. We got it in Ratchet and Clank. Like, you can turn these things on in games right now. 4K 30 modes were a PS4 Pro standard. Right, again, it's your first rodeo covering games. You think you've got a smoking gun. You're like, yep, got it. They told us back then that it was 4K 30. Yeah? Lots of games are 4K 30. What do you mean? 4K 30 is not... It's not anything. It's the baseline industry standard at this point for next-gen games. Just like performance mode is. To the point that Callisto Protocol tweeted and essentially said, hey, just so you're all aware, 60 FPS was literally trending on Twitter yesterday. Yo, it's good, Prosy. Prosy, where you been, says Butters. Where I didn't see Prosy say anything. I'm just reading what Butters said and assumed Prosy was here. And then they misquote the 3-second clip, adding the word only or all to prove their point. Yeah. It's two things, John Always. It's two things. Number one, it's just drenched in ignorance about next-gen games and the standards that we have now. And beyond that, it's also expressing ignorance. Well, no, sorry, I said that wrong. At one level, it's expressing ignorance about next-gen standards in the market right now, and in the next breath, it's just dishonest. That guy yesterday, T-Bear, I went back and listened to the stream. He was in here flat out lying to us. He said, there's a video of a guy who says you will only be able to play it on PS5 in 4K 30 ray tracing. That's a lie. That's not what the guy says. He says we were playing 4K 30, which is what you'll be playing on the PS5, and the beautiful ray tracing. It's just an offhand remark. He's not establishing anything about the game. He's simply saying the version we played was 4K 30 with ray tracing, and you'll be playing that on the PS5. And no one was alarmed by that, because that's a base level expectation. Oh, sure. Yeah, 4K 30 with ray tracing. I have a bunch of games on my PS5 right now that I can do that with. Yep, that sounds pretty normal to me. That's not that alarming. It's why nobody watched that video and got alarmed. The guy that was debating me yesterday, he literally made his own video. He made his own video and said that the devs need to answer these questions, that we don't know what the performance is on console. So he watched the video and determined the same thing that everybody else did. We don't know. We have no idea. This guy just mentioned in passing that there's going to be like a 4K ray tracing on PS5. We don't know what else there is. We don't know if there's a performance mode. We don't know. Sometimes they give you more than just the two options. Sometimes they give you three. They give you 4K 30 ray tracing. They'll give you dynamic resolution ray tracing, and then they'll give you 1440/60. Like there's multiple ways to choose. Like, it's not always 4K ray tracing with 30 and then it just turns it all off. Some games even give you multiple options. Again, some of these people are just proving that it's their first rodeo covering games. They're not informed. You feel a bit bad for the devs on this game. The fact that they seem to be getting rushed. I do feel bad for the devs. I do. It's a gigantic bummer. It's a gigantic bummer that they have spent all this time on this game, and all signs point to a game that's being rushed, a game that's being shipped before it's ready. That's what it looks like to me. Yo, what's good, Cisco? It's extremely difficult to upgrade a membership on mobile. Yeah, they need to work on that. Nothing wrong with smooth 30 FPS. Personally can't go back since playing at 60-120. Issue here is that it runs at 30. It's that it's locked at 30. A next-gen game, $70 and no performance option. If 4K 30 is possible, 1080-60 is possible, the devs just didn't add it. The people at the lower departments get crapped on for the decisions of the higher-ups. Of course. Spider-Man has what you are saying, with a 30 FPS and ray tracing, a 60 FPS, and a 60 with ray tracing, so no excuse. That's exactly why. Like, do you see, M-Man? Like, these guys out here that think that video is a smoking gun, you're literally putting a sign around your neck that says, I don't know anything about next-gen gaming. There are numerous next-gen games right now that do 4K 30 with ray tracing, and then they do different versions of that. There's 60 FPS with ray tracing, and they make the resolution dynamic. Then there is a 1440/60 mode without ray tracing. So your resolution isn't fluctuating as much to give you the 60, and they turn off the ray tracing because that's how you do it. But again, these people don't know that. Like, so when I say they're ignorant, it's not an insult. It quite literally is the definition. Like, they are uninformed. They don't know. Yeah, then there's the new thing that people are asking for. 120 hertz, 40 FPS. That's another thing that people are adding to their games. Yo, Joe Vivian upgraded to tier 2. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ratchet has like 5 modes. I'm not defending 30 FPS for Gotham Knights, but should third-party devs be held to the same standards as first-party? If you are going to charge $70 for your game and you're going to put in ray tracing, I think, yes, you should be held to the standard of allowing people who are buying your $70 next-gen only game to have the minimum settings that's in the market right now. Like, I think bare minimum at this point, there's the resolution mode and there's performance mode. I think that's a bare minimum expectation at this point. Anybody falling below that is not delivering a next-gen experience. I think that's fair. There's no third party here. It's all WB. Well, what he's saying is it's not a first-party development company that's only designing for the PS5 like Insomniac. There is some credence to what he's saying. When you have Insomniac or Santa Monica or Guerrilla creating their game for one platform, it does help with optimization. When you have a multi-platform third-party game, optimization is more challenging. That's a valid point, but I don't think it's a strong enough point to say, oh, well, that's fine. $70 next-gen game doesn't need performance, the performance option because, you know, you guys aren't a first-party company. I thought he was saying third party were creating the PS5 port. No. That's not what he was saying. Yeah, I picked up what he was putting down. I understood what he was saying. And again, I think there is some measure of credence to the claim that first party devs do have certain elements of development ease because they're developing for one platform. That's why when people say exclusives are bad for games and bad for gamers, they also are expressing their ignorance. It's like, no, that's not true, right? Like, also, Reforge, I gotta say, I love these streams where you let people share your opinions and then you make counter arguments, but you never say things like, that's such a bad opinion. And if you do, you say why. I sometimes say I'll say that's a dumb position or a stupid position. I try to avoid it, but it's unavoidable sometimes. Should there be more grace going forward for $60 games in performance like Plague, since we have 70 now? Well, here's the thing, Russell. If Plague Tale was rock solid 4K 30 with ray tracing, I would say that's a bummer. But at least they clearly optimize their game within that framework. The problem with Plague Tale's in another category. Plague Tale, funny enough, Plague Tale's honestly worse than Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights isn't out yet, but Plague Tale's worse. Now, if Gotham Knights comes out and is going like this on frame counters and not maintaining 30, well, they're in the same camp of garbage. But right now, Plague Tale's in its own unique camp. Like, what the frick? What? This game can't even maintain 30 frames per second? What decade is it? What's happening? If Gotham is a smooth 30, then it's honestly better than Plague Tale. Now, the reason Plague Tale is going to get less heat and less complaint is because it's less noticeable. It's a lot of the movement's slow. A lot of the movement's slow. A lot of the setups is very cinematic. It's going to be more noticeable in Gotham because it's a high movement, high action game. Does that make sense? I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying I think more people are going to notice in Gotham Knights. Plague Tale is an indie dev charging $60. Yeah, Plague Tale is also a smaller dev. I mean, how many people did they say worked on this? Like 45 or 50 people worked on Plague Tale, Requiem, and Innocence? Something really funny about this is I was annoyed that someone was saying stop defending Gotham Knights, and then I listened to what you said, and you changed my mind so much. Oh, buddy, I have some people that are really angry on my Gotham Knights video. that little short, they don't like me at all. And it's like, I'm a huge fan. I'm just an irritated, disappointed fan. But they think I'm just a hater. I honestly think people are seeing shorts on YouTube and they think that's my content. Hey, somebody ordered some coffee. A Reforge light roast. Thank you so much. Guys, we're 33 members away from 100 new members today. Consider gifting a member or becoming a member. Help us hit that 100 member goal. That would be awesome. So if you have 50 employees, it's okay to keep info from the public, but if you have 300, it's not okay. So Creature's issue with Plague Tale is they didn't tell anybody it was also locked at 30. Creature's position is that both companies did the same thing. There was no official word from the Plague Tale Requiem devs that it was locked at 30. I appreciate the response. Makes sense. Thanks, Russell. I wasn't talking about the hiding. I was talking about the performance issues themselves. Right. The waters get muddy here because there's layers to this. There's like, hang on a minute. If you're going to walk out into the next-gen landscape and fail to tell people, yeah, our game's locked at 30, we don't have a performance mode. If you're not going to tell people that, it's not going to go well for you. That's why Callisto walked out and said, we're going to have a 60 FPS performance mode. Everybody calm down. Right? No dishonesty if you aren't hiding. I think if you fail to establish the performance of the game in the next-gen market, I think you are hiding through omission. You're not telling people. Like, look at how God of War Ragnarok did it. What, in the summer of this year, we had all of the information about performance? There's a trailer out right now that shows off the fact that it's going to be 4K. Like, I don't know. It's bizarre to me that you think it's okay for a company... I'm not speaking to you directly, Robert, but in general, it's like you think it's okay for a company to promote their game and just not tell you significant things about the game's performance, and you find out after you buy it? Like, are you okay with that? Are we okay with that as gamers? Imagine if we bought God of War Ragnarok and this happened. People would be screaming. They would be screaming. God of War Ragnarok launched without a performance mode? What a step back. What a piece of garbage DLC. This isn't even a sequel. It's basically a PS4 game. That's what people would be saying. But Gotham Knights does it, and this is fine. Big Vaughn with a $5 tip through Super Chat. Clutch Points article says the devs confirmed there will be no way to get 60 FPS on console. So does this mean they confirmed no update? Possibly. People holding out hope for an update should probably read those interviews and be like, yeah, probably not. Can you imagine if Gotham Knights did this? People would be killing them. What do you mean? They only let it out because they got forced to in their Discord. These people that run this narrative that, like, it wasn't leaked, it was publicly known knowledge, it's like, then why did they have to make the formal announcement in their Discord? If it was publicly known knowledge and they didn't try to hide it from us, then why was it announced in this way? That doesn't make any sense. That's illogical. If it was publicly known knowledge, wouldn't they have just kind of shrugged in their Discord and been like, what are y'all talking about? This is publicly known knowledge. Plague Tale does the same thing and gets flowers. I got news for you, Creature. I bet you the review outlets are going to treat Gotham the same way they did Plague Tale. I bet you it gets a bunch of 8s and 9s. Seriously. Seriously. The only company that took Plague Tale to task was VGC, Video Games Chronicle. We're going to have a reaction today on the Reaction channel to an article from Video Games Chronicle reviewing that game. None of the other review outlets took Plague Tale to task. They didn't. They gave it praise. It got 8s and 9s. 7 8s and 9s. I guarantee you Gotham Knights gets 7 8s and 9s. The article was published on October the 17th, so I don't believe there will be an FPS update. Yeah, Gotham Knights still hasn't released details. Can we talk about that? It's there. We still don't have performance details from them. Just press pause for a moment. If you're hate watching, if you're drive-by watching, if you've been here for the last 2 weeks, Really ask that question. Why do we still have zero idea about this game's performance on console? Where's the detail? Where's the blog? Where's the trailer? Where is it? If you ask me questions right now about Gotham Knights performance, I can't tell you. We have to buy the game. We have to buy the game and play the game. Yeah, Plague Tale Requiem's getting an 81 on Metacritic. Is that the user score? Oh, no, that's the review scores. Yeah, Plague Tale's not getting fleeced, creature. Plague Tale... Oh, no. Your position is that Gotham's getting fleeced. So until we see the Metacritic official review scores of Gotham, creature, we don't know if what you're saying is true. Oh, they're reviewing the PC version of Plague Tale, for frick's sake. Careful, you might get timed out if you keep asking, Lono. Especially in the face of this firestorm about performance. The PS5 version of A Plague Tale got a higher score. It got a higher score than the PC version. You see Gotham getting killed on Friday? I think the review outlets are going to play nice with it. It's a big IP, and the company behind it has seemingly spent good money to get people to promote it. A lot of YouTubers have been singing this game's praises. A lot of YouTubers have been puffing this game up, fluffing this game up. I don't know. I have a feeling Friday, you know what's going to happen Friday? I'm going to have all these people flooding my shorts and flooding my channel saying, See, it's getting 8s and 9s. We told you this game was going to be amazing. Like they think that review outlets are the proof. Meech, you did it! Meech upgraded to tier 2. Guys, it only takes about 20 minutes. It only takes about 20 minutes of your time to upgrade to tier 2. I don't understand why more of you don't do it. Let me see how many tier 2s we have. We have 95 tier 2 members. I really want to see 100 before I start giving content, but I think that's close enough. Maybe if I start doing content and streams for tier 2 and above, people will start upgrading. The only singular review I'm caring about anymore is Eurogamer when combined with Digital Foundry. I had to delete the YouTube app in order to upgrade in a browser. Oh, because it keeps wanting to open up the YouTube app. That makes sense. Love the show. Thank you, Daniel. If you guys have been enjoying the show, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Subscribing will ensure that I'm in your feed all week. If you ever come to YouTube and I'm not on your homepage, check your subscriptions tab on the mobile device or on the YouTube desktop. Subscriptions is just a button. You click it. It'll show all of your subscribed channels. And I will always be there Monday through Friday. Sometimes I'm not on your homepage. So make sure, thank you, Omar, make sure that you are checking your subscription funnel, because sometimes you just might not see it. Okay. Everyone hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, consider subscribing. Subscribing is free. It lets you talk. It lets you talk in my chat. I'll be in your sub feed all week long. Having a great time. What did Big Von say? Exactly, agree as well. What did Big Von say? That's my point, bro. No, I feel like the story alone will give it a higher score because sadly most people don't care about specs. No, I think you're right. I think a lot of people will just overlook it and be like, yeah, it runs at 30 FPS. It's kind of janky. It's kind of whatever. That was a major blip for me. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah, it seems to not be affecting as many people. Interested in covering the other game coming out on Friday? I know there's a lot going on. What's the other game coming out on Friday? Are you talking about Are you talking about Tales from the Borderlands? New Tales from the Borderlands? Is that what you're talking about? Aim vertical. Okay. All right. Learn more. Limited data. We should do... People are going to want to see Thief's End, not Lost Legacy, would be my guess. Okay. Design for players who are new to these games. Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Okay. I just want to make sure the game's not going to crash. Lost Legacy picks up faster. Yeah, but I have a feeling people are going to be looking for Uncharted 4. You know what I'm saying? Lost Legacy is shorter, so yeah, it certainly picks up faster, but I just want to make sure that the game isn't going to have any crashing issues. My gaming rig is usually fine, and then randomly it'll just do this shutting off thing, and then I reset the video card and it all goes away. It's like, okay. I don't follow any reviews, so it's not going to matter to me about how the game devs on a review. For the discussion alone, I think reviewers are going to crush Gotham Knights for shallow gameplay. Okay. All right. I'm going to let this play for just a little bit, make sure it doesn't crash, and then I'll just replay cinematic so you guys can see this because it looks incredible. Got invited to play first Descendant. Will report back in a few days. Sounds good. While you're in your Steam library, check to see if you got into the first Descendant beta. I got an invite earlier this morning. Yeah, Creature did as well. He got in. I have not gotten an email yet. So I obviously want to play it and really want to check it out, but yeah. Hang on. Should actually let the game run for a little bit too to make sure it's not going to crash. I hate that I have to do this. I was going to do this morning. Yeah, is that what he's talking about? The thing on Friday? What car do you run? 2080 Ti. The frustrating thing is that people will buy Gotham Knights and show devs. People don't care about us tapping into the power of next gen, and we can go ahead and roll out mid-lane stuff and people will buy. Reforge, the only ads I get for the stream is Gotham Knights. Yeah. I get tons of promoted tweets in my Twitter feed for Gotham Knights. I get tons of them. Yeah. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. All right, what time is it? It's 2:37:42. 2:37. Okay. Gaming trend. Hundreds, 95. These outlets should be removed from Metacritic. Yeah, they're giving the game 100s. They're giving it 100s. They're giving it 95s. Yeah. That is, that's something. I find it interesting that the first Descendant beta is only on PC. Are they hiding something? No, that's actually really common these days, Mike, is for betas to be on PC. That's actually quite common. It's quite common. Yeah. Creature's like, I can just use his. Can I have a shout out? No, that asking for shout outs is not very classy. Or if you're trying to like promote your channel, it's just really not classy to do that. Oh, come on. Load game. What about, will this load the opening? I want the opening for you guys. You need to be able to see the cutscene. Okay, we're good. Heard it's an actual beta and they want actual feedback. Yeah, a lot of the Destiny YouTubers sunk their teeth into it and had a lot of bad things to say. So that could either be like, hey, that could really help the game be better, or it could really, really hurt, it could really hurt them. It could be that the game just isn't going to be good. This guy said he can't take me serious. I make awful shorts. These people are so angry. They're so angry. This person literally just commented and said, I hate your hair. Your hair makes me hate you so much. Do you think, like, that's the definition of malding, is it not? Isn't that the definition of malding? Like, he's so mad about my hair that he hates me. He's so... You know what I mean? It's okay to be bald. Bald's fine. I think bald can be really sexy. You shouldn't be so insecure. Like, that's the definition of malding, bro. He's so angry. He's so angry and jealous of my hair that he's like losing his grip. He's losing his grip in the comments on my video. Give me like 1 minute. I'm going to run upstairs, quickly use the restroom, and I've got something really, really awesome for you guys today, okay? Don't go anywhere. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. You guys are awesome. Stellar start to the day, and we are not done yet, right? Stick around. I'll be right back. Okay. I hate looking at the microphone. It makes me so angry. Why? Okay. Let's get set up here for the next thing. Let's do it. I think you guys are going to like this. It's going to be fun. Plop that out. I didn't even check. I did not even check how this video was doing today. Let's see where we met people today. We met a lot of people through search, a lot of people through recommend, and a lot of people on their homepage. So if you found me today through search results or your homepage or recommendation, like a suggested video, thanks so much for clicking and being a part of the show. We had a really, really great time, and now we've got something else to do. And typically what we do is we redirect to the next show. And what that means is it will bring you with us, right? It'll bring you over to the next show, but sometimes that doesn't work. So we will provide a link for you in the chat if you would prefer to do that instead. Some of you guys watch in various places where redirect doesn't work all that well. So I will give you a link in just a brief second to let you come with us to the second stream. We are going to be checking out something very exciting. Oops. Nope. And let's do that. Oh, nope. We are going to be checking out Uncharted Legacy of Thieves on PC. I've already watched just this opening section, and it looks really, really, really good. Okay. All right, let's check out this brand new Legacy of Thieves Uncharted gameplay. And all right, I'm going to hit the link in chat, in the Discord, I mean. Get some peeps in here. And then I'm going to put a link in the YouTube chat, okay? Use that link if you don't want to get redirected. Oops. All right, we got to make sure we're pulling from the right audio source. I can't tell if it's working or not. I'm a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune. I don't know if there's anything playing right now. I don't. We'll know in a second. Okay, we got no sound. Hang on. Properties. I don't understand. It should be coming through. Monitor only. Redirected? I've not redirected yet. I can't get the audio to work. Yeah, building shaders is like... Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, speaker's wireless controller. Okay. Okay. All right, I got audio now. I've got audio now. Yeah, I don't know why building shaders is stuck at 41%. Is that going to mess with my game? Hear the menu noises? Okay. Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this. This is going to be us diving into Uncharted PC gameplay live. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection goes live on PC today, October the 19th. We're going to be checking it out. I'm going to be playing Uncharted 4. I know the other game picks up the pace pretty quickly, but I think this is probably primarily the one that people are going to be looking for. Now, I don't know why it says building shaders down there behind me. I don't know if that's going to affect gameplay or not. we're going to be diving in. I'm going to end the previous stream about Gotham Knights and bring people over through redirect. We do multiple shows a day, multiple talk shows. So if you like that kind of content, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my content. We had a great discussion about Gotham Knights and why people should stop blaming consoles. That game just seems pretty